Welcome to Subjectively Correct, episode 40. Wow!
Woo!
We be doing this, man.
We been doing this.
I forgot to grab. I said I was ready. I was not ready. I forgot to grab the fresh caffeine. So I will now crack that awkwardly while I try to triple multitask right now. So. In case you couldn't tell from the title and or thumbnail, we watched the Backrooms. That'll be the main topic of discussion. Also recently was PlayStation State of Play, so we got some stuff for that as well. Supergirl. There's some box office tracking that's come out. Let's just say it's on set to be the second biggest flop in the DCU.
Hey, but it's not that bad though. It's not the worst thing in the DCU.
It will make more money at the box office than Peacemaker, for sure.
Yeah.
And Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
Will it have more viewers than Creature Commandos though? I don't know.
That's tough. I think that it's not how much money it's making, obviously. It's which one is going to lose less money. And you can't convince me Creature Commandos cost more than like a handful of pocket change and lint to make. So I assume Supergirl will be losing much more money.
Yeah, but it had like 30 viewers though. Remember that?
Dude, think about the ad on the free YouTube stream. Think about the ad revenue they got from that.
Bro, my favorite part of that was that was the one piece of content where everyone was commenting like, bro, don't worry, bro. It's really popular.
It's really popular. It's so popular they let people watch it for free.
I feel like a pretty good video I made where I was very fair to Creature Commandos as a whole, right? I feel like I wasn't like this is the worst thing ever. I was more like it's okay. There's some stuff I like, and then the Gun Bros came in the comments. They're just like, bro,
I literally remember it, so it's not.
I literally hate you, bro.
Kindness is the new punk rock, by the way.
Well, this was the theme of Creature Commandos, which is like freaks are
cool.
They're like, I'm a person too, bro. Unlike the theme of Backrooms, which are therapists don't know what they're talking about and they just make everything worse.
Yeah. Therapists can't help you. And when they say they can, they're lying to you and they're going to get you killed. Yeah. That's the theme of the Backrooms.
Therapists will do whatever they can to help you unless they see a chance to help themselves, and that'll be their primary goal.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like the Backrooms we're gonna talk for a while about. How far are you into? So I told you about this, but I didn't want to go into detail. I wanted to save it for the stream. I had a very existential weekend. So I watched Backrooms on Friday, which I would say is a relatively existentially dread-filling movie. Then I decided to watch The Truman Show on Saturday night. Which I knew was like, I knew the concept, so I knew it was like gonna be something. It ended up being way more than I thought it would. And then I was like, let's just go for the kill shot, and I decided to watch Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, which is like, have you ever watched that?
No, I have not.
Very good, by the way. You should. It's a romance movie, so you'll be like, "What the?" But yeah, I know you got a girlfriend. You know, watch it with the lady friend.
Were you on a little Jim Carrey kick?
It wasn't even intentional. I've just been meaning to watch it for a while, and then I randomly booted it up Sunday night, and I was like, "I'll watch a little bit of it, and then I'll probably go to sleep." Ended up watching the whole thing. So,
I'll have to watch it after this.
Very good. All extremely existential movies. And it would be a thing where it was like, oh, I got to reset. But it didn't matter because I was playing James Goyslop Bond throughout my downtime in between all of that. Because I went from like...
Little palate
cleanser. I finished the whole game over the weekend, basically. So I do that a lot with new games. I'll reach a point where it's like, I feel like I'm at the end and it's kind of a late weekend. So I'll just stay up until I finish this game. How far are you into the game?
I'm at like
what's the last mission? I guess spoilers for James Bond.
When you texted me that you were almost ready, I was partway through the Bavma mission.
Which one is? You're gonna have to describe the mission. I
The,
don't.
like,
This game
like
was.
king of the boat area, like the.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know
Are
how
you done
far.
with that one?
No, I'm like partway through. I like
Okay.
paused to set my stuff up.
Yeah.
But I still
we'll
still feel like I'm in a tutorial. Like I don't feel like I'm actually playing the game yet because the rails are pretty heavy and you just brute force your way through every interaction, but like not even in a way that's difficult. It's too easy to play. And it's too limited in how dynamic it is and like the different things that you're able to do. There's just not a lot.
You kind of said to me
yet.
though, you felt like you were like out of the actual tutorial part, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the actual tutorial, it was like 7 hours, 8 hours of gameplay.
But you thought, you feel like you're at least done with that, right?
I'm pretty sure I'm done with that. If not, I feel like that's just the game. Like, I think the game is just the tutorial.
This might be a little bit of a hint.
How close am I to the end of the game, or am I still barely in?
You are basic. So I kind of a skewed point because I was playing it after work, and so I was doing that for a while, and then I literally basically played the second half of the game all in one sitting.
I mean, it's what? Like, I'm going to go to Bavma, he's going to tell me where 009 is, and then I'm going to find 009, and then the game's going to be over?
No, not even close. You're way off there. You're about to uncover the big moment. Like the
I figured there was going to be thing's happening the whole time.
So take it. I guess this is spoilers in general if you get it right. So you've been introduced to a couple of things, right? Or at this point in the game, one very notable giant MacGuffin piece.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be that the AI thing's actually evil or something.
Exactly, because there's no way it's an AI story where it's going to be good, right?
Yeah, I mean...
And you've also been...
you walk into the room and it's like, oh, that just looks like an evil, like, massive...
Okay. Also, so
009's the good guy, and then we team up and we win, and all the good guys are happy.
Now you've already been introduced to the main villain. Think through the random people you've been introduced to through the game. And I don't want to narrow it down too much, because I feel like the second I tell you one thing, you'll realize immediately what I'm talking about, because it's such a random moment. Who would your guess be on who the...
It's not the twins, right?
No. I mean, they're like the muscle of the main villain. Type.
Is it like a main character so far, or just someone that's like popped in?
I'll say you got the first part, that the AI. It's like, oh, actually, the AI's evil.
Is it the guy that made the AI?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. When I talked to him, I was like, oh, he's like when at the funeral, I was like, yeah, that's a bad guy.
I'm an old white billionaire.
I'm an old billionaire who invented this crazy AI.
Yeah, I'm an old billionaire. It's not even that. It's just I'm an old billionaire in a modern story. Oh, I think you're the bad guy.
Yeah, and he was weird.
I'm the bad guy.
I didn't think he would be the main bad guy. I figured he was just gonna be like.
I honestly.
That's terrible.
I was so checked out by that point of the game because I was so sick of the freaking tutorial Kingsman coming of age story. I was just like, dude, I wasn't even paying attention. I was so glad all those people were dead.
The evil AI seemed because what's her name? She just kept saying stuff like, "Oh, I always trust the human, the human side of things. The humans always tend to make those human choices in a human moment, and things tend to go their way, and they defy the odds with their humanity." It's like, oh, okay, so she doesn't like the super mega AI, so it's probably not going to be good. And then you see it, it's like, oh, evil AI center.
Yeah.
Why is it so scary?
It's so much funnier. It's like you technically do have it correct, but it's also so much worse. Like there's an extra. What? Hold on. See,
I
you
mean,
have that,
when they
I
first
just, I'm
introduced
curious. I'm genuinely
009,
curious.
I thought there was
Hold
a
on, no,
good chance he would end up actually being a good guy, but I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna
I'm
do
just
that
curious.
obvious of a twist.
So I told you right that it's way dumber, but the AI is still involved.
Yeah.
Think of the dumbest concept you could take on how that would be revealed. What would your guess be? I'm really curious. I probably won't tell you. You'll have to experience it for yourself if you don't guess it. It's gonna be hard because I'm telling you to basically like create a like out of nowhere scenario that has no setup. But like, what would if you're like doing something stupid? What would be something stupid you would do with like that concept?
Of like AI's bad, the guy that the AI says is bad
But
is actually
that
a good guy.
specific AI is bad. Like in a.
I mean, is it just gonna like send them on missions that like are bad? Like,
no, you're not even thinking in the right realm. But I want to tell you, but I don't. I want you to just experience it for yourself.
because I mean, in a good story, I can see it being like every mission they see a little something that doesn't seem right about what they're doing, and then over time,
Oh, it's not that at all. Don't worry, it's not that at all. That has nothing to do with it.
That might be interesting and like build over time. Is it like a really short? It feels like it's gonna be a short game.
You think that, and then there's about 2 missions longer than it should. I got to the final mission of the game, played through it. I was like, it was all right. It was kind of bondy towards the end. Oh, there's another mission, and then I played that mission, and I was like, okay, whatever. That mission, the ending is kind of weird, but whatever. It's all right. Oh, there's another mission, and then that was actually the end. There's a fake out boss fight and then a real boss fight. Both are not great. One is laughably bad. The first one, at least the first one is the one that's like laughably bad.
Is the one girl's like super quadrillionaire family gonna be involved in some way?
Cressida?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because it felt like when they were talking about it, it felt a little heavy-handed, but they might have just
kind of, but not
dynamic.
really. Her dad does come back up, but it's pretty irrelevant to the overall. She doesn't. I don't know why they thought that tutorial was like the best, because none of those characters come back.
I mean, yeah, the one guy died and she gets paralyzed and then he leaves. I get what they were trying to do.
Yeah, but even all of the other double O's, like the other, so all of them, all but one died, and then Cressida was paralyzed. So it was
the one guy like disappeared.
That's what I was saying. Hold on. I know that's why I was saying there were 4 that died. One disappeared. I thought he was gonna come back. I thought he was the assassin who was in there to make James Bond kill himself. Turns out he wasn't.
Well, yeah, because they even made it like a thing where they said that he disappeared and we're not going to be able to find him unless we want to. But they're tracking down 009, who is way more qualified and way more skilled in every way, and they can find him.
There's a lot of really stupid moments like that.
It didn't make any sense.
So I've been trying to watch like I've been trying to watch the people who like their brain off while playing game, which in their defense, I have a really hard time judging games because it's something you're physically you're something you're actually actively doing.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, dude, if you get off of work and you want to play a game for an hour or two and you have fun, even if it is like this James Bond game, which is pretty mindless in a sense, and you have fun doing the mindless goy slop James Bond game,
that's good.
It feels weird to me to sit there and go, no, that's stupid. For some reason, even though arguably it's a worse thing than a movie where it's like you're wasting your time actively playing this game as opposed to the movie where you are watching something. But the movie to me might just be because it's just something. Maybe it is like even Star Wars Outlaws, which I think we both agree is absolutely awful. When I played it, I was like, okay, this is bad. I can tell, but like, I wasn't sitting there going like, oh, it's ridiculous that this, and this is happening. Mm-hmm. It was more of like after the fact, it kind of sits me. I'm like, that's pretty ass.
Yeah, it's harder for me to judge the story of a game in the moment. It's like I have to finish it and then think about it.
I wouldn't even say a story. It's just the gameplay element. Like, because the main thing with this game that it has that I've also like, at the moment, I wasn't realizing how bad it was. But then as I thought about it more, it's like, especially comparing it to Hitman, which we're both big time Hitman fans. So this is always gonna be a hard one for me because I wanna love anything IOI did because Hitman's so good. and it just was. But it was like the adventure line, the yellow Stanley Parable adventure line in this game, which is you know that, right? Like where there's just the yellow paint everywhere. That's like go this way.
Yeah.
And then if you don't do something for 5 seconds, then
it just keeps yelling at you.
Then Greenway's like, I found something over here.
Or Moneypenny's like, Bond, I need you to do this. Bond.
Or James Bond.
Go do
James
that.
Bond says to himself, I really should go do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's pretty...
This game has that a lot, but...
It's also significantly
to...
less... It feels shallow. The gameplay, the further I get into it... Because at the opening, you're like, okay, you're going to have the Q watch. It's going to have some gadgets that you can use through the Q watch. I don't mind that like system. That could be interesting if they do some cool stuff. And then, I should probably have a license to kill at all times. And I don't know, maybe since I'm a spy,
I will say, so
maybe I should have a gun with a silencer on it and not just a super loud gun.
I will say you basically have a license to kill at all points of them. Like anytime it would make sense for you to like be killing the people, you basically get one. I hate that gameplay element though, because it was literally just like, we want to work the term license to kill into the game.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll just do it this way. And you do eventually get the suppress. There's a couple missions where it's suppressed, and the one mission where I actually almost felt like it was a Bond game, because he's wearing a tuxedo and he's chasing a girl basically, and like the one mission in that there is a suppress. Like there was one moment in the entire game where I was like, hey, that's some Bond. Other than that, though, I was like, this is Kingsman, but like a bad version of Kingsman.
Yeah.
Because every time I always say it's Kingsman, I always feel bad because the Kingsman movie is real. The one Kingsman movie, not the other two, is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But it isn't, at the end of the day, a parody of James Bond, so I guess it would make sense. But even the character itself acts more like Eggsy.
Yeah, he does.
But anyway, I was watching a bit of this dude named I Am Rob play it, and I like I Am Rob. He makes platinum trophy videos, and those are I enjoy those.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing I'll say about him: not exactly privy to analyzing the quality of a game.
Yeah.
The easy test is like watch his Last of Us 1 platinum video. He's like, this is the greatest game ever made. Then the Last of Us 2 platinum video, this is the greatest game ever made. And then his next video, this is the greatest game. Like, I like the hopeful optimism every time he plays a game and trying to find the good. But like, he's got a Star Wars Outlaws video, And I never watched it, but I can't imagine that he was not negative. Which, like I said, I guess as long as that is actually his take on it,
if
whatever,
you can just enjoy playing like any game, that's great, have fun. But
he makes really entertaining. His Cyberpunk platinum video was a banger. It was really good. I'd highly. He's got good platinum. Like he's got. I really love his Arkham trilogy platinum videos. It's just he's not gonna be the guy I go to be like, is this a game that I want to play?
Yeah.
So I watched him, and then I've watched a bit of the opposite of the spectrum, which was Mahler playing it. And Mahler, I think, is way too harsh on the game. Now, I guess it depends on a point of view. I don't know. I feel like Mahler is always already going in with the negative connotation. He also loves James Bond, and then and he knew this wasn't going to be James Bond, so now he's already harsh on it. Again, but he plays the game in a way he's like, how can I break this game? And he tries to break the game.
Anytime I've watched it, he plays more like a game tester kind of, which is fair because it's testing the quality of like all the pieces of the game instead of just the story.
Because he tweeted a clip. But this is the one thing that's kind of like, okay, I don't like what are we doing here? Like, so this clip, which is like that you can just break the AI in this game, which he's not wrong. You can. With the mantling, he tweeted this out here, where it just kind of breaks the AI in the game. Which is this a issue that they probably should have considered more? Yes, for sure. Maybe they'll be able to fix it as it goes. But like, I mean, this goes on for a minute and 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch this all the time. I didn't realize he vault attacked to do it. That is far more of a concern, actually. But
yeah,
he was doing that in the mission where they try to assassinate you with the guy you fight in the kitchen. He was just mantling back and forth, and it wasn't killing it. Like, and it would break it. which is probably that I agree is way worse of him vaulting over doing the vault attack, and that you just do that and there's no chance of you ever getting hit. That is a problem. The vaulting thing, they probably should have fixed a little more. That and the throwing. I find the throwing really funny when I'm playing the game, but not in a good way, because I will just spam the right trigger while I do it. Like, I will just, because I think the animation's very funny, but it's like, maybe we should have limited the amount of, like, things that are available to be thrown under most circumstances.
It's literally everything around you all the time, and then it'll just cancel all their stuff, and you can just spam throw. But what I was saying was, it feels so shallow with what you're able to do, especially from the people who made Hitman. And as someone who likes Hitman, I'm not great at it, but I love Hitman. It's really it's a lot of fun, and you can do a lot of really interesting things. And every mission, there's like, I don't know, at least like, I was gonna say 10, but there's like dozens of ways to do each mission. That there's
ways
like
that the game allows for you to do
storylines.
Yeah.
There's probably like, how would you, at least like 5 or more
per thing. There's like 15 per mission.
Yeah, there's
story paths.
There's over a dozen like preset story paths you can follow to complete each mission, as well as like partially cherry picking pieces from those storylines that you can do.
And then on top of that, you can ignore all of that and do anything random you want to do it. Yeah. And then if you play on the hardest difficulty, you'll have no guiding at all. If you play on the second hardest, it'll give you the mission story prompts, which is a little bit more okay. But if you play on master, it's like there is no prompts. You just have to naturally find the stuff, which is what I think Mahler is normally looking for. Because it's like, so when I watch him play, it's like, I get where his criticisms come from it of like, but like, is it, and it is a bad thing when it is a good argument to make if he's arguing against the people who are like, this game's a 10 out of 10. It's the greatest game since the last thing. It's the greatest ever. I agree the argument he's making against it with that, but it's like, what if sometimes a game just comes out where there is kind of an intended way for you to play it? And I know maybe that's not fun, but maybe then it's just not your game. But I guess for a broad appeal game like Bond, it is kind of, but it's like
for a spy game where you're like trying
for this
to
game, I agree. It's probably
I
agree with this game. Not a good idea for the design. It should be like Hitman, where there is intended ways you can play it, but there's also like you could do whatever you like. If you want to kill a billionaire and his daughter who's a race car driver while dressed as a flamingo, shooting them with or knocking him out with a muffin and then shooting them with a duck gun, you can do that if you want in Hitman. You can't do that in Bond. They like try to trick you because there is like 17 mission stories in all of the wide scale things, but it's like not actually you can't actually do it though.
And it's even the eavesdropping feature, which was also in Hitman,
giving you the spot to eavesdrop.
In Hitman, you just have to be near people while they're having the conversation. You have in Bond, you have to physically go to a spot, and it's not even that. It's like triangle to you have to manually.
We should probably put a pin in most of this until you finish the game, so we can do our full since we're gonna do a full discussion on this. But with that is like, or in like Assassin's Creed, there's eavesdrop missions. You have to tail behind them with not getting caught. It's like there's never and honestly in this game, it's kind of stupid when you use the dart gun. You just make them sick, and then you just walk right into restricted areas.
Yeah, it's kind of
you can technically do in Hitman, but you don't get the psyker until like you have to go out of your way to unlock the psyker in Hitman.
And you also can't just shoot people out in the open in Hitman all the time. Bond, you can literally you can just spam the sick darts and then pick up chemicals everywhere.
Yeah,
you can just spam them. And, you never run out of battery. You never run out of chemicals. It's bad.
You cannot do something like this with Bond. This is one mission in Hitman. This is the world record from the master difficulty. You can't. This is not something that you can do at Hitman. Let's just watch this. It won't take too long. Don't worry. We're already halfway done with it. Don't worry.
work, 47. Ludmila Vetrova has been permanently... 2 targets remaining.
So you can choose to play like that, or you could choose to play like I have an AK and I'm just gonna run in and mow everyone down until I kill the targets. Or you can follow the story of you become Stephen Bradley's personal trainer and then go into the gym and kill him with the weight bar and then become the bodyguard or whatever of the other guy. Like, which is how they have an intended line, but you can also do all the other stuff.
Yeah,
that's not gonna be like in Bond with the chess mission. It's like you can do this and then do that, and then at the end of the day, everyone blows up anyway.
Then you go here, and then
everyone still blows up.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just not, because this will be the last point we can talk about before we'll save it for a couple weeks for our Bond thing itself. Maybe we should just do a Hitman one just for fun. And Bond itself, of people are like, So there is the Mauler side where they're like, this is Gollum meets Star Wars Outlaws meets mixtape. That makes James Bond. And I'm like, okay, that's insanely harsh. And at least this game is pretty I had a couple issues, but like as far as glitches and the game breaking, it's pretty polished in and of itself.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side, which is like, this is Uncharted meets Hitman meets there was Watch Dogs. And I'm like, what? I do get the Uncharted element. The problem is, it's the parts of Uncharted that I hate, which is the insanely boring gameplay loop of the first few Uncharted games of little puzzle thing, big shootout mission, little exploration puzzle thing, big shootout mission. And it does that for 30 times in a row. Now, Uncharted makes it more fun because the exploration stuff's really good. This game does the exact same thing where it's slow walking investigation scene, big shootout mission, slow walking investigation, big shootout mission. So it does have some Uncharted. And then what's the other one? What are the other ones I even just said?
Hitman and
Hitman. Yes, it's not like Hitman at all. It's literally just there's multiple ways to complete the mission stories. That's the only Hitman element to it. Everything else is nothing about it because you can't get compromised. That's not a thing that can happen in the like.
No, you can't get compromised. You can't drag bodies or hide bodies.
That annoyed the hell out of me.
You knock people out. The first time I knocked somebody out and I couldn't drag their body away, I was like, I'm a spy. I'm going to knock somebody out and just leave them there?
You can't. So, yeah, you can't fail the mission. Like, in the mission?
No. You
like,
can't fail.
If you want to do the mission story of, I got to break into Joe Schmo's hotel room during the chess thing, it's like, you can't get caught and then you lose that mission story and you got to restart the whole mission. It's like you'll just go through it and you'll be done.
Yeah.
Whereas in Hitman, it's like if you blow it, if you trespass, you don't realize you're done. You lose green guns, no silent assassin for you, which not everyone plays going for silent assassin, but
yeah,
it's like redo it. And then Watch Dogs. There's one good Watch Dogs game, and like it had the same problem. You could get caught and get compromised. You couldn't just spam sick darts at people.
You could. I was getting crazy shootouts and kill like 50 people and brute force it. But
it was also kind of intended.
Yeah, but that was part of it.
And it also heavily incentivized you to not do that. Watch Dogs did.
Yeah, it did.
And of the Watch Dogs games, it's more like Legion and 2, which both kind of suck.
Yeah.
The dart is more like the hacking side. So I'm like, that's way too high of a praise. It's somewhere in the middle of, it might be like Uncharted meets Hitman meets Gollum meets Star Wars Outlaws, and whatever 4 out of 10 amalgamation you get out of that is, I feel like, what this game sits at. Like,
yeah, that's pretty much what it feels like. Thus far, again.
It's so much, like, I can't stand people going, it's basically like just the next Star Wars. It's like, bro, Star Wars Outlaws is awful. Like,
it's really bad.
I think it's safe to say AAA games, they peaked in 2018. I wouldn't say gaming in general, because I think indie stuff, there's a lot more room for, like, but AAA, I think, absolutely, I feel like we could say 2018.
Yeah, that was what? God of War and...
God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, Detroit Become Humans, the first Spider-Man game, Something else I was thinking of earlier came out around then, but I can't remember what it was. But the Call of Duty was World War II and Black Ops 4, which are kind of the last two that were like unique to Call it, like were like natural Call of Duty before the Warzone era of Call of Duty, which is something Fortnite was in its prime in 2018. I mean, just I feel like that was since then. I don't like what you got like a Ghost of Tsushima in there since then. What else has come out? I can't even think through, like, there's been plenty of games I've bought, but I can't think through like which ones I was like.
I mean, there's
that was
Spider-Man 2, which wasn't good.
But that one is but that's bad. Like that's almost.
Oh, you're
that
saying
is almost
good game since then.
On the same, I'm saying good because I'm saying when we're saying AAA peaked is like I feel like 2018 is the only year you can say.
Thinking of good games that have come out recently that we've played. There's not a lot of new games that I've played and enjoyed. The only games that I've really played and like loved were older games that I was playing.
Oh yeah,
for the
what
first
Hitman?
time
I was trying to think what
replaying. Was it 2 or 3 that came out then?
Hitman 2 released in 2018, which Hitman 2 is the best of the 3 Hitman games. So it's like
a story, yeah.
I'd say AAA gaming was pretty much at its peak, and even the missions themselves, I think 2 is the most unique. But
yeah,
I think AAA games were at its peak in 2018. I think it's only been down. We'll get GTA 6, which will probably be the first game that's actually on par with those older level games, because it's Rockstar.
Yeah.
At the end of the year,
maybe.
But other than that, it's like what people are gonna be like. Oh my gosh, Bond and Wolverine. But I don't have any faith in Wolverine now that after Spider-Man 2, I feel like it was such a disaster of a game,
and
both from like a level of gameplay. But Miles Morales was better. Miles Morales was more on par with the first. Miles Morales is closer to the first one than Spider-Man 2 is closer to Miles Morales. That's what I would say.
The main story, yes. The overall game, no.
I think it is. I mean, it's really small. I think Miles Morales would have been a very inoffensive, pretty decent DLC for the first Spider-Man game.
I agree. And the DLC for the first Spider-Man game already wasn't great, so I feel like a Miles
It was
DLC
all right, though. I think the Miles one would have been better than the entire City That Never Sleeps DLC pack. Yeah.
Also, I just don't think we're not ever getting the Spider-Man 2 DLC.
We're not going to watch this whole thing, but just some stuff from Wolverine. I find it very weird that Wolverine was the game that they were like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, they made Spider-Man and then Wolverine.
Here's the thing I will say. I think it'll be fun to play because even if Spider-Man 2 is not my favorite, I still like the combat system.
The gameplay was enjoyable. It was very good.
Relatively. There was definitely things that really annoyed me, but that was more because of the first game. Oh, that's brutal. Maybe I shouldn't show this. I mean, he's murdering the hell out of some people. Holy. I mean, it looks pretty brutal.
They look exactly like Kraven's goons from
They do, but that's how every goon looks. Oh my gosh, it's Wanda. Oh wait, she's not the villain? I assumed she was gonna be like the bad guy. Is that Jean Grey or is that Wanda? Why is it? It's probably Jean Grey, right?
Maybe, I guess.
I only said Wanda because Wanda was trending on Twitter and that was the first thing that came up. So I kind of wasn't thinking about Jean Grey at all.
There's also, they said there's no X-Men in this universe and like all the mutants are underground, which is...
I just find this very weird. Right choice. So is it just going to be like a linear style game? Oh, this was the healing thing. This was getting really controversial.
Yeah. Because the suit heals.
Yeah, which I get as like a critique, but also like...
I don't care about the suit healing. My thing is I don't like if I'm in a mini boss fight or a fight if it just completely stops so I can spam square to fully heal instead of like Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, do a random quick time event.
Yeah, like Spider-Man's healing system was good. You had to fight to build focus and that allowed you to heal and you had to balance and it was like if you're about to die and you don't have any focus,
Why didn't this heal now?
you have to keep fighting so that you can heal.
This is where the problem's gonna
and you have to
come
be
in,
really
actually.
careful because fighting you could die because you're about to die. So it's interesting gameplay. Whereas just a quick time event.
Get you guys out of here.
This is where the problem's gonna come in, as far as the healing suit. Why is it not healed now?
Yeah, they could do.
Hey, I'll say, as if there's a really cool scene where he goes all the way down to skeleton and reheals, that'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun.
I was
It's
thinking they were
weird.
gonna do like Arkham, how the suit gets damaged over time.
Maybe.
But obviously only like keeping damage from certain
This stream looks pretty
things.
crazy.
Ooh, that looks like a pretty cool stream. Anyone watching should go pop over there.
Yeah,
I
mean,
feel like they could be doing that and only like certain like cutscene stuff or boss fight things
So-
would damage the suit, and then everything else is kind of just like.
yeah, I'll just say, like, I love the story from the first Spider-Man game. I feel like, but the strongest part of it was the open world. Just being straight up, the activities and stuff like that. The open world was the best part of it. I guess we should probably address you drinking out of the Mandalorian and Grogu cup.
I was never gonna address it.
We have to address the bit. I think.
I don't-
Yes, but it's too.
As much as I hate the movie, I really do like this cup because it's really big and it stays cold pretty well.
Oh, you just crashed fully. This movie's cursed. He just crashed all the way.
Hold on.
Oh, are you back? Are you back?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hold on.
Let me make sure the stream didn't go down.
It might have. Hold on. Yeah, my internet just spiked. That was... Okay, it's fine now, I think.
You sound fine.
Okay, I think visually
YouTube not
I'm-
receiving enough.
Hold on. It should be now. It popped back up.
Oh, we've been getting chat messages that I've just been completely ignoring, by the way, which is my bad, but it might be gone now. We were yapping about James Bond anyway. I think we're good. I think we're good. He's talking about Backrooms in the chat, which we'll go back to, or we'll get to at some point soon. What is he even?
Is he arguing to no one?
I think he is. So I think he read the title and thought we were talking about Star Wars. Star Wars.
He said better
Sorry,
than the original Star Wars question mark. Stop the cap. I don't. I don't understand what you're trying to say.
He had so because our title says let me make sure. Sorry, I'm having a mental. I'm trying to keep track of.
Okay, let me go through from it. His first comment. It started good, but the third act was an abject failure. The MRI company, and then the thing about the therapist's mother being OCD. She wasn't OCD. I'm pretty sure she was schizophrenic.
Either way, we're not on to Backrooms yet. That's why I wasn't really going to talk about it quite yet. But
yeah, but anywho, back to the cup.
So the second you lifted that cup up, the stream died. So
yeah, I mean we're
okay. The stream's fine. The stream is
still
fine.
up.
We're good. We're good.
That was weird.
All right. So I'm regathering myself. That was an absurd 15 seconds in a row. We might have to rework this ninja thing because it does not like you right now. And this is week 2 in a row that it's just been.
We'll have to figure something out afterwards.
That it's just been death.
But yeah, what were we talking about?
You were talking about the cup. You were just.
Oh yeah, so. After I saw Mandalorian and Grogu, before the movie, I got an ad that they're doing. They have like Mandalorian and Grogu Burger King meals. So after the movie, I went and spent like $24 on the Mandalorian and
Burger
Grogu
King?
box. Yeah, it was twice as much as what my ticket cost for the movie.
Holy shit.
I know. It was like a
That's that Superman merch sales they were talking about.
Seriously, bro. It was like an adult Happy Meal basically, and then a Mandalorian and Grogu shake. And I only got it because it had the collectible cups, and I thought that was like a funny bit, just like how I have the Ironheart and the America Chavez pop figures. And then the food was just like horrible. And it was like Burger King is slop. It's disgusting. And like I'm not
partnership.
and not just like obviously pretty much all fast food's bad for you, but McDonald's tastes decent. Wendy's tastes decent. Burger King tastes bad. But this actually, from the smell, I almost didn't eat it. And then I ate...
Was that the Grogu sauce?
Dude, it was like the bounty hunter sauce, and then I don't even know. The only thing that was kind of edible was the shake, and it wasn't good. And then the burger, I ate like 4 bites and couldn't eat it. There was like cheddar tater tot things. I had like 2 and couldn't keep eating them. And then there were chicken fries, which just tasted like air. It was the worst $24 I've ever spent in my entire life. But I mean, the
nice,
super awesome limited edition cup. It's got Zeb on it. Does
it have Sigourney Weaver?
It's got the Babu Fricks on it. It doesn't have Sigourney Weaver. It'd be way better if it did. But it's got Zeb though. So yeah,
Zeb, the origin of the Glupshido tweet.
Yeah. But that's the bit I've been rolling on for 2 weeks.
My video for Schmando and Smogu is fully scripted. I was just exhausted yesterday and did not record it, but that is a recording either today or tomorrow thing. Should be out relatively soon. And then I'll have to decide what to do next. I'm kind of drawn towards a 007 potential video, maybe a Spider Noir video.
I watched the first episode of Spider Noir today.
I watched like the first half of the first episode. I thought it was all right.
It was enough to pique.
The problem is I have ads. I have ads on my Amazon Prime, and that'll just nuke your momentum of trying to binge a show.
Yeah, I was watching in the black and white too because it was filmed for that.
That's what I'm watching it in. Yes, it's a noir thing. I'm watching it.
I'm gonna watch it in black and white, and then I might rewatch in color just to see like how it looks. But the black and white looks good. The swinging doesn't look fantastic. That's probably my biggest.
I thought the one in the opening
so
looked
far. Decent. The weight just looks a little bit off.
Is he gonna punch Nazis? Because that was his whole thing in the Into the Spider-Verse.
I think we're past
I do 2 things. Something.
Drink egg creams and punch Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I was interested. I thought it was all right. I'm not super hooked, but I need a little more noir music. I need a little more noir music.
The superhero idea and having some of his villains
I will say
a lot weaker than they normally are, but he's also not like insanely powerful.
A couple things on it. As only 3/4 into the first episode. By the way, I hear that slight echo from earlier back again. I don't know.
It's when I pop a headphone out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was like, what was I lost my train of thought completely.
Spider Noir.
I'm just kind of annoyed that it's like I quit being a superhero thing. It fits his like moody character a little more, I guess, which is fine. It's not a flaw of the show. It probably makes more sense in the show. It's just like, okay, this has been happening for.
It happens a lot. The difference that I felt in this one is it feels like they aren't just crapping on him for like.
Yeah. That is true. It's just that, and that's why I said, I'm only 3/4 into the first episode, and I think, and it's more just that's more my opinion on stuff, less of like this show sucks because of that. It's like, okay,
that's just not like and then favorite type.
The
of
other
story.
thing that I wish that they hadn't set themselves up to completely nuke with how badly they've done it is this show should have Kingpin in it. Like this should be a Kingpin noir mobsters thing. But
yeah,
I don't actually want that now. But
Silver Maine, Silver Lake, Silver whatever. I don't remember.
Did you see the picture of Dana White looking exactly like Kingpin?
Yes.
Did you see the edit someone made where they turned him into Kingpin?
No, I didn't see that one.
I will pull it up really quickly because it is hilarious.
He looks exactly like Kingpin in that picture. It was kind of crazy.
Yes, I gotta find. Where's this X tweet, dude? It's the reply. Where's the reply? Oh, did it get taken down? Someone made a Photoshop of it that literally just turned him into Kingpin. I don't know if I'm gonna find it, so we should probably move on anyway. But someone turned him into Thanos. Here it is. I found it. This one they didn't do it. This one they went with the Daredevil style of Kingpin, which is annoying instead of the. Someone did the comic one more, or the Born Again style. But where's this? So here, it's literally just Kingpin.
Cast him.
How Wilson Fisk took the crime from the fringes to the White House. Let me pull up the Thanos one because it was also funny. Dude, it was just all of the memes. Everyone was replying. It was all so good. When you were getting past all the people who were like deciding to go politics instead, and I'm just like, dude, all right, let's just talk. Let's just do the memes.
Let's just have a little fun.
Let's just do memes. Memes are funny. How Thanos took the Infinity Stones from the Avengers and altered the universe. That's a good one.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah, dude, those memes were killing me because it was all about Kingpin. All right. We should do Backrooms. If we don't do Backrooms, we're gonna go on a Supergirl rant. We'll unfortunately end the show with the Supergirl rant. Because we do have the Supergirl trailer as well as some box office rankings. But we'll start with the Backrooms. So, I guess it's a good time we can address this argument this guy had with himself in the comments real quick. So, thank you for the chat message. I was not paying attention to the chat. Completely forgot to pull it up.
Yeah, I didn't have it up.
We got Backrooms started very good, but the entire third act was an abject failure. A little harsh, but maybe I kind of agree that the third act wasn't that strong. We'll see in a second when we do our own review. The stupid MRI company angle, again, maybe I agree with parts there. The entire thing about the therapist mother being OCD, I agree with the concept. I don't know that I agree with your read on the mother, but whatever. Why would the therapist just stumble into her patient's business and wander through the marked spot on the wall? I feel like they set that up perfectly fine. I did not like the movie by the end of it. I did not like the movie. I disliked how the third act was going, and then I liked it by the end again. We'll go more to that. I would call Backrooms a failure. Objectively not. It's done $81 million in its first weekend.
Yeah, and it's a $10 million movie.
It's not a failure. Thin, man, it was basically like watching a video game. Okay, Obsession was a much better horror film than Backrooms, and even it was redundant. I didn't watch Obsession. I'm probably not going to, but I have heard it's pretty good as well. I feel like people are just glazing the new Mauve Bees. Okay, better than the original Star Wars ? Stop the cap. No one has made that argument. No, our thing is in reference to the fact that the Mandalorian Grogu box office is a disaster, and therefore Star Wars itself
I think
is a
thought
disaster.
it said Star Wars is back. Maybe on the title. I don't know.
I think we're saying the Backrooms is better than the original Star Wars.
Oh.
Because it says Backrooms takes Star Wars out back.
Yeah.
It's referring to the franchise, by the way. If
Yeah.
you're still in the chat, I'm assuming you're gone by now. And then Exit 8 was better than Backrooms. Haven't heard of it. Haven't seen it. I said it. A Japanese film about glitch space was better. Its plot was better. Okay, sure. Maybe it was. Maybe I'll check it out. Probably won't, but maybe I'll check it out. That was just a very jarring thing to see after we were dealing with the stream crashing in the middle.
Yeah, I was talking about my Mandalorian and Grogu cup, and then I saw
we hadn't even actually talked about Backrooms, and I just saw the guy like having an argument in the chat with no one else in the chat, and I was very confused. So, we were talking about what were we talking about? We were talking about James Bond most. That's basically all we've talked about so far. All right. So before we go, more in detail with it, you saw it first. I saw it since. I think you liked it a lot more than me. I did like it, but we'll do our general outlook on the Backrooms before we do spoilers and in detail. Your thoughts first. Go ahead.
I really enjoyed the movie. The atmosphere was phenomenal. The acting was very good. I thought like I said, the atmosphere was good. The actual Backrooms, they nailed it. Looked fantastic. Probably the most scared I've been watching a horror movie in a while. Maybe not like jump scared. They didn't really do cheap bunch of jump scares. It was just very creepy and has you on edge the whole time, which I much prefer. I watched my roommate put on Smile 2 last night, and I just hated just about every second of that. It wasn't terrible, but I just didn't like it. But anyway.
Hold on, really quickly. I also, because I know it. I know we've talked about. Hey fellas, what's up with the W takes? Hello, Corbin.
Hello, Corbin.
Welcome. Explain real quick your opinion on horror, because I know we have a similar view to horror. I think mine's a little different than yours, because that is also relevant to this as far as horror movies.
It's not my favorite genre, but when it's done really well, I really like it. I don't like jump scares. I think they're cheap, and I don't know. It's kind of like the fart jokes of horror. I think it's obviously.
Hey Corbin, we know why.
Obviously, well, yeah, because I get scared, but it's not like they earned it. If you know what I mean, it's very cheap, and it's for the audience. It doesn't feel like it's for the characters. Whereas like all the stuff in Backrooms, the environment, all the creepy,
like this,
yeah, like this is that's.
Which, by the way, real quick, sorry to interrupt you again. This is Kane Pixels, the director of the movie. He got his start making the YouTube shorts on YouTube, making Backrooms things. So I'm just pulling some of those up for some general kind of B-roll in the background, but. This was his original work before he got to work on the movie, so check him out. Bro can't even look into a hallway. Jake played the FNAF VR game, and Corbin told him to look into a hallway, and then Foxy killed him.
Yeah,
screamed.
That caught me. But I think jump scares in general are pretty cheap. A horror movie that has a bunch of jump scares, and then people just talk about how scary it is. I think that shows that the quality of the movie actually isn't very good if it just relies on that the entire time to keep you scared. I think it's better when the movie, doesn't show the monster for a long time. And if they do show it, I think it's how they show it is incredibly important. Caleb and I have different takes on this movie and the monster, but we'll get there. This is not spoilers.
Back to your Backrooms.
But yeah, just general horror. Not a huge fan, but if it's really good, and I prefer more psychological, less jump scary, because it's.
And then on this movie specifically, though,
Backrooms specifically, environment was great, really creepy, really scary. I got home and it was dark, and I was scared, very creeped out. So I think my measure of if a horror movie does a really good job of scaring me is how well I sleep that night, and I didn't sleep very. I'm like, if I'm going to have a nightmare about it, it was probably really good, and if I'm not going to have a nightmare about it, it probably wasn't very good. And Backrooms was pretty solid. So that's my.
All right. I will now go. Again, this is Kane Parsons, the director. This dude Jake must have loved the FNAF movie, Super Psychological. Well, you can hear me, Jake, and actually Corbin, who's in the chat right now, our good friend, talk about the FNAF movies. Specifically FNAF 2 for 3 hours. We have a stream further back.
Talk about
Bro did not sleep after the mega scary FNAF 2.
Super
yeah,
scary.
we talked about FNAF 2. So my thing with horror is so weird because I don't like horror games or movies or any of that. I like horror stories though, which is kind of a weird thing. Like creepy pastas, if they're good, I like. If they're bad, I like laughing at them. Like Jeff the Killer is the famous one of like he's super it's the quiet kid thing. He's like a loser, and then he's like, oh, and then I killed all the people who made fun of me. That like funny ones are like Slenderman is a stupidly funny. Like there's funny ones out there that have become iconic. Russian sleep experiments like a better one that kind of gets rough towards the end, but like those are the ones that are funnier. I talked about it last week. My favorites, Left Right, the Creepcast podcast. They do horror stories, but then they also pause and they theorize or make fun of it, which I find entertaining. Because if it's a good story, I also like to do the theorizing, which is one thing I think this movie does really well for most of it. And then like, or if they're making fun of it, I enjoy that too. So, that's always been my thing. For horror, I don't like slasher movies. I think they're stupid. Scary kind of, but more just like what's the scariness of like, oh, Michael Myers is back and he's gonna kill more people, or Ghostface is gonna kill more people, and it's like you can't just shoot the guy. It's like, okay, whatever. So it's just a god being and he's gonna kill a bunch of people, and then somehow the main character doesn't die so they can make Halloween 17. It's like I don't think Michael Myers is really that scary if we're in Halloween 17 and the main chick's still alive, you know. And then some of those are fun. Like I think the Friday the 13th as a thing is kind of funny. I don't think it's like bad, but like that's as far as slashers go. Something like Smile is they were like I understand the appeal behind it, I guess, of like imagine how creepy it is if someone is smiling nonstop, and it can be really weird and strange. And
it was creepy.
Exactly, but it's also at the same time just like I don't know. It feels kind of there's something about that really interests me.
Yeah. The ending of Smile 2 also was really bad,
and that feels like they're just doing this thing for the sake of doing it, and that's not the kind of horror I like. Like in general, like Obsession, I've heard a lot of things about. I'm probably never gonna watch it. Like not because I've heard it's really good. Maybe I'll watch it on streaming, but it's just, I don't know, the concept, there's gore and body horror, and I'm just like, gore I can deal with. It's when it's over the top, then I'm just kind of like, all right, what's the point in this?
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, it's a good movie, just doesn't sound like it's going to be, might sound more monkey paw type thing than anything for Obsession. But Backrooms is the same, is the stuff I do like, where it's cosmic and unexplainable almost. I think horror benefits greatly from something that no other story can, which is that mystery box sucks so much in every story except for horror, because horror isn't supposed to have a sequel base. Like you can do a mystery box thing in horror because you're never going to answer it because you don't understand it for good horror stuff, right? It's not something that can be understood. Therefore, there is no answer. Therefore, the mystery box can never be opened and allows you to guess on it. I think the first two acts of Backrooms really provide for that. I think the third act starts to take away, and I think they rescued it a bit again towards the end, which we'll get into. I think it benefits from a filmmaking standpoint, this movie especially, with the non-Euclidean kind of geometry and liminality, the liminal space thing, which is where the Backroom starts from. There's a great video by the Y-Files, which is a fun YouTube channel about the Backrooms from a few years ago. I linked it in the description. Where he was more the internet Backrooms, which goes into Kane Pixels / Kane Parsons, the name of him, actually, his original videos. That goes into the idea of liminality and concept of mental liminality, which is a more common thing than an actual liminal space. Which a liminal space is something everyone knows, but it's not quite right, like the Backrooms, essentially. Everyone's seen an office building before, but this one's not quite right. And I think that one did this good. I think the acting, that main actor, he plays Mordo in Doctor Strange. He's very good in the first Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, he's all right. Like he does
his best with the second one.
he tried.
He read the lines they gave him.
Yes, which is unfortunate for him. I would try to say his name, but I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm not going to bother trying.
He was really good
because he was good in it. He's also in The Martian, which anytime you got someone from The Martian, it's bonus points for me. So, he's very good. The therapist chick, she was a good actress. I don't know about her character. We'll get more into that. I thought the found footage stuff, I was thinking that was going to be cheesy, and like I was like, okay, whatever. Ended up having my favorite moment in the movie with some of the found footage stuff.
Yeah.
I will say I missed the first like 2 to 3 minutes of this movie because I got hit with the worst traffic pattern of all time, and there were literally no previews before the movie. So it was already going by the time I walked in.
Yeah.
Which really screwed me over. But I only missed some of the setup. It's the found footage of the MRI people, which is like...
Okay, so you only missed...
It's nothing.
You just missed the guy wandering around for a few minutes, and then you got the end of him
wandering around. I got the end of him wandering around, basically.
Okay.
But yes.
So you didn't miss a whole lot then.
Because I already knew what the Backrooms
it was building the environment well, yeah.
Yes, because I already knew what they were, I was fine.
Yeah.
I think the first act is decent. The second act was absolutely amazing. I do not like most of the third act. I think the ending saves it a bit. I don't think it's like the greatest movie of all time. I think it's like a true 7 to 8 out of 10. I think the filmmaking stuff in it's really good. I think I got like 17 theories, and I'm looking forward to going through them because I've been trying not to forget them because I kept getting them. There's some cool filming stuff. Yeah, I think that this presents it to that, and what I almost lost it with was when I kind of thought they were gonna start answering stuff, and I was like, okay, I don't like that. And they kind of still answer some stuff, but don't really. But we'll get to that. I think they leave it open again, which is good. I think Kane Parsons did a great job. I think it's super funny that everyone was like, he obviously didn't direct this. There was a ghost director.
He did such a good job. People think he didn't make the movie.
So this is the second YouTuber horror movie this week that's been better than the latest Hollywood slop. Weirdly, it's the third YouTuber horror movie to be like a box office banger. So that doesn't bode well for Hollywood creatives.
It bodes really well for storytelling.
Better for story. I wouldn't maybe go as far as really well, but makes me like maybe Jacksepticeye's Bloodborne will still be good. Like that's kind of the direction of like it's almost now we still got like the Shelby Oaks out there, and it is very isolated to horror at this point. Which, in fairness, if you do it, if you get a decent concept horror, and like I said, you have mystery box on your side, which is a very easy way to tell a compelling story.
You can't really
I just think it works.
Sci-fi or fantasy on a super small budget and make it good. It's pretty hard to do. And
you can't do mystery box.
No, yeah. But horror's the easiest genre to do super cheap. Excluding, you could say comedy, but it depends on a lot.
You could do comedy very cheap, but you have to. The problem with comedies, you need someone who's very funny, and that's expensive.
Yeah.
Like tires cost nothing.
Because you have
but
funny people.
But like me and you can't go out and make tires because we can't afford to pay Shane Gillis to come be in our show. Yeah. But like tires, like they can turn that thing around in 3 months. I don't know why it takes them a year to make a season, but like they could get out 30 episodes every year basically.
Yeah.
Tire season 3 coming soon, so can't wait. But yeah, I think I did enjoy it. I wasn't really scared. I was creeped out. There were some skin crawling moments, but this wasn't like the third act did this for me, where I was like, maybe if it had ended in a way I thought would have been a little better, I would have gone home and been like, oh, it's scary. I'd left going, Jake's kind of a little baby if he was scared going home after this.
It was kind of like...
I thought it was super interesting.
A creepy,
I thought it was
freaky, scared more than a...
I thought it was super interesting, super eerie, creepy, and uncanny. I would not really describe it as scary.
It was more of like a kind of scary.
Yes, exactly. But like I slept completely fine. I slept like a baby. I didn't never.
I get the really strong like back of the like the whale from Stranger Things, the back of the neck feeling. I get that. Yeah. Well, I get that like super strong. So it's stuff.
Fair, but so am I, relatively. Maybe if I had never listened, maybe if I hadn't been listening to Creepcast over the last
It's
like
been building your scare tolerance.
I've had a year of listening to really good horror stories and really bad horror stories.
I don't watch anything scary or listen to anything scary.
I will say, Jake, if you like this, listen to the Left Right Game Creepcast podcast. Very good stories. And they do a good job with those. But I know Wendigoon, who's a co-host of that, is friends with Kane Parsons, and I know he was on the set and stuff, doing stuff. But
that's cool.
I think the strongest elements of this is the deja vu almost, but it's the liminal space concept, which is the whole thing of like
are really good.
You almost feel like you could have been like you kind of see something. You're like I feel like I've seen that before.
There was a point where when you go back to the real world for a bit, I was seeing things. I was like, oh shit, we saw that here, and I was starting to piece stuff like that together, and that was pretty cool to see. Not a lot, because you still don't really understand like what it is and how.
So I'll say
how it works, but you get to see a couple more things that factor into like the sets that you're gonna be in.
Yeah, there's two. I would say two. There's the two like fundamental rules of like at this point making a good movie of most things that you really probably shouldn't break at this point, which is your basic cinematography rules. I'd say you can break them at times when you're making these new movies, but at this point, so many directors and movies have tried to break them, and then then they just break them in a bad way.
Yeah.
And then mystery box. At this point, you shouldn't do mystery box. This movie specifically, but horror in general, lends it to being able to do both of those, and it can add to this movie. This movie breaks the rule of thirds and stuff like that constantly. Like, stuff gets centered in the middle constantly, and the reason it works is because you go, that kind of looks weird, but that lends itself to a benefit of the movie, because as the viewer, you're watching it, and you're like, that kind of looks weird, and it's uncanny, like the room in the movie. It adds to the eerie weirdness of how, which I think is cool, using the cinematography stuff to be like, oh, that looks really not correct, but in a way it's good. Like, and then the mystery box that we've kind of already talked about, and we'll go more into as we go into the story a bit. But I'll just real quick basic overview is you follow I can't remember the character's name, Clark, right? Clark is, for the first two acts, basically our central character. We get some with the therapist chick who has a name also, but I don't remember it. Mary, yes. Not because it's a bad movie, it's just I watched it on Friday, and
it's also
it's been a while since Friday.
Their name really doesn't matter. Like, it's
not... So you get a bit with her. Clark is going through a tough time. He's got kicked out of his house. He's divorced. His business is failing, and eventually his lights don't work. And he's living in his store now. And eventually he
that one got a laugh out of my theater when he
falls through.
He wakes up and you see him sleeping in the middle of the store.
Yeah. He clips through the wall. He clips through the wall, and he finds himself in the back room. And there's a scary element of the back rooms. We get a flash forward. He's now become obsessed with them, and he's plotting them out. He brings in some people we know, including Aerion Targaryen.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious. I saw him like, yo, it's Aerion!
I saw him, and I was like, wait, that's... Oh my... What?
Yeah, so our boy Aerion from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is back.
I was like, what's Aerion doing here?
And his girlfriend, Aerion, is he's a cameraman, and he lends himself to that part, and they get some of the found footage element with him. And then the third act brings us back to the therapist chick. As she ventures her way into the back rooms, we get a big reveal of the monster, and then chases her, and then she gets told something by a company, and then the movie ends, which I know sounds kind of abrupt, but it should have been more abrupt in my opinion. So I guess we're in spoiler territory now. So like,
I'll throw up.
I would say I thought the second act was absolutely phenomenal. So I've always heard the term skin crawling, never knew what it was, experienced it twice. And the first one was like a subtle, very low, which is when he finds the Christmas tree.
Dude.
So during the found footage section,
shit.
I loved it when Aaron. I knew first off when they didn't pull the full rope up. I'm like, he's done. It's GG. He's
going
gone.
to
It's
die.
fries, Swin. It's fries. It's
Yep.
burgers and fries. He's gone. You gotta pull the. You can't leave the slack. And sure enough, he doesn't leave the slack. Gets pulled down. That was kind of a basic horror trope. But at least it wasn't like a let's split up thing. You know, it was like oh, we should have probably just.
And it was like they
were
took
panicking.
precautions too. So it's like
yes, and they were panicking. But it's also a thing of like, dude, why would you leave slack? Like, okay, whatever. But that's me being like, really, that's obviously gonna happen. But I also know that's gonna happen, I guess, in fairness, because there's a movie. But anyway, I think that so he loses his camera, which he had to set it down originally. That leads to his girlfriend and Clark going. They also get knocked down with the bed that gets pulled over that they tied him to. After they end up down there. Clark picks up the camera. From that point until the end of the second act, basically, was like 10 out of 10 phenomenal, in my opinion.
It was
as he's walking through. So the clothes on the ground, there's a end apartheid shirt. It's almost like it's a different. It all takes place in June of 1990.
It's a shirt that Arian was wearing earlier in the movie.
Yes.
Like when you first see him, he's
remember
wearing that shirt in the store, and then you see like 30 of the shirt lying all around.
Yes, so this takes place June 28th or 29th of 1990 is the other thing. So there's that, but so then he's down there and they're walking through. He ends up in a room that is literally just lit by a Christmas tree with and it's just a slight red hue. I got the skin crawling thing.
Yeah.
There, and then that chick comes out of the corner and it's like she's freaky and she's not moving how she's supposed to.
It's the first thing you see in the Backrooms that moves, and it's terrifying.
It's very creepy.
Because
and then he runs away.
Real quick, sorry. From the start of the movie, you know there's like a monster in the Backrooms, but it seems like other than that, it's just the rooms and that's it, really. And then you know that the company is also there. But
and that's also technically not the first thing you see, because you see that bird flying, but first
but that's
humanoid.
That's like, oh, a bird somehow got in. It's not like
first humanoid that can kill you type thing.
Yeah,
moving around.
And then she moves.
Should have been Kanye West. Let's be
terrifying.
All of the lights.
Olive delights.
But yeah, so that was like creepy, and then he runs into the pool area, and the other chick is there, and she's like, "I can see you." He sets the camera down, trying to get it. Dude, when the camera gets lifted up, and that was the moment I was like, hell yes. Like, the full skin crawl. I was like, oh, yes, that's
And then you see the height of how tall it gets lifted.
I thought that was phenomenal. That was my favorite part. I thought that was a great moment. That was the full body skin crawl. I was like, oh, and as she's kind of realizing behind him, and you don't see how that ends, but you get hinted towards it later. But maybe not, I guess. We can talk about it. And then but yeah, I thought that was all phenomenal. Which I thought the found footage, I was gonna be like, they're just doing it because it's kind of creepy. It's not. I don't know that's gonna lend itself to being that good. Ended up being my favorite part of the movie, so shows what I know. That's why Kane is doing the directing, not me. And yeah, that was, I thought, the best part. I think I thought the score also, they do a really good job mixing in like diegetic sounds from the Backrooms into the score. Like there's a moment where there's a bunch of footsteps, and then it pretty much seamlessly blends into the drums of the soundtrack playing in the background, which is very good. I think the strongest part, you can kind of see it here, even though, again, this isn't the actual movie. This is, I guess I can pull up the trailer from the actual movie. Is like the room, it's supposed to be like an office building, but it's not like there's no outlets or anything on the wall, or like stuff that's supposed to be there isn't there almost. Yeah. I really liked in the opening found footage, before you knew it was Clark's sign, that no credit needed sign is backwards in a way that doesn't make sense. Like it's not mirrored, it's backwards, and it's like that doesn't.
So's the stop
like
sign.
Your mind is trying to flip, but that sign was more passing, which is why I liked it. But it's like your mind's trying to work out like, oh, it's just flipped upside down, but then it's like, wait, it's not. It's literally the text is back. I thought that was really good. Yeah. I think Kane himself has been the guy who's built up Backrooms. Like he kind of started a lot of the stronger. It started on 4chan, shocking, I know, and then he kind of built up the later stuff with it, and I think it was pretty clear that he knew what he was doing, but also of like paying respect back to his original work while having a higher budget and better actors and better equipment to make it. And yeah, I mean the actor again, I would love to say his name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. He was phenomenal
When
in it.
he So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. When Mary is in the back rooms, when she goes to the shop looking for Clark, and she is in the back rooms, and you see something move, and then it goes away, and then Clark like peers out around that wall.
Oh, I thought that was so good, but I
And-
didn't think it was going to be Clark, and that was a little disappointing.
And
for me.
he just the thing that I thought was super interesting with that, Clark moves out a little bit, and then you see him, and he moves back.
Dude, that was really good too.
And when he pops out, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry."
He's really blurry. Like, he doesn't look right.
Yeah, he doesn't look right.
He looks like a dog that you draw describing someone, and then you get closer and you realize it's not really him, which is, I thought was really good. They did that a lot in this movie, I think, with some of the other stuff. But
Yes,
sorry to cut
but-
you off. I also very much agree with that.
Yes, but he was like, "Oh, don't worry, it's just me." And then when
Yeah, I
he
know.
walks over to talk to Mary, you still hear a little more moving in the background, and then that I thought that lent itself to the reveal pretty well.
Yeah. I know we have fundamental disagreements with the reveal, and it's not a thing. I think you definitely won't be able to convince me. I doubt I'll be able to convince you of my take on it.
I totally
I'll be able to
understand
see your point of view.
I understand not wanting the monster revealed. I really do, and I think a lot of the time it's better to not reveal it, especially
I think
in a
they still
case
could have
like
done
this.
it.
I
think there was a way they could have done it better.
The reason I liked it is because the way it looked, the way it moved, the way it sounded, it wasn't like, scary. It was the skin crawl, creepy, just like, feeling. That's what it gave me. So that's why I really liked it, because it was just really creepy, and I thought the reveal was very interesting.
So,
And it made me think a lot more about the Backrooms and like what could be happening, and it made me think a lot about like the lore and what could happen.
I guess we can get into this a bit more now, right? So, obviously the spoilers and all that. It is revealed that it's basically a
reflection is how I
a
described it.
flanderized personification of himself as like a. It's almost like the dancing monkey in Captain America: The First Avenger. That's just the first thing that come up when he draws himself as a dancing monkey.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
think
his version of that.
Whenever I've talked about it, I said like all the people in the Backrooms, they're just like they're reflections, is what I call them.
Kind of, but his is weirder because his is more
monstrous
of a mockery of how he looks of himself.
Yeah.
So I just thought it looked a little too goofy. Like, I don't like, and I know that like whereas like the lady with the triple face looks really creepy, and then
the guy with
the guy's eyes look really weird, and the dude with the lamp was the scariest looking one out of all of them, and then he just walks in, and I'm kind of like, it just looks dumb. But like, I think it can work, but I think I'll kind of talk about I'll kind of talk a little bit later about what I think could have made it work a little better. I really like that shot you're talking about. So, and more of it, I think a lot of it is some of the more mystery box problem where it's like, I kind of thought of a lot of theories I thought would have been really cool, and then that kind of starts taking away a potential of them. I think again on the end, which I know I keep being vague about it, but I'll talk more about it when we go straight into the end. It brings a lot of that back into play. I think it makes sense from a thematic point of view, but then I also kind of get confused when the thing kills him as to what that's saying about it.
Yeah, that was... I thought that was kind of weird.
So, I really... What is... So, I guess because like, it's going to be hard to dance around the topic. I'll just go into... So, I have like 7 different versions. If you do, that's fine as well. What do you think the Backrooms actually is? Is, I guess, a good... Not based on the internet lore, by the way. Anyone listening is like...
Yeah, like
not based on what the actual... In this movie standalone, what do you think the Backrooms is?
It's like a cosmic thing. Like it's not. It's a cosmic thing that just builds warped reflections of things in the real world and people and places and things from the real world and kind of distorts them and then like make that exponential. So, you know, it's slightly different and then it's a little more different and then, you know, a few rooms down the line, you're looking at a completely different place or a completely different person or whatever. And that's what you see with like how the sets change, and some of the sets you get to see towards the end of the movie are really crazy.
Oh, and by the way, I'm looking at the stream right now, and I think our green screen is kind of breaking some of the color grading. It's a yellow look. It's not
very
this weird
yellow.
tan look.
Yeah, our green screen messes up greens and yellows pretty bad. It's like a super, almost like Daredevil type yellow, but it's like fluorescent lighting yellow. So it's not going to look as
and
good
it's
on
the
screen.
yellow wallpaper. It's like the pea colored wallpaper, but
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to. Sorry to cut you off and make
No,
you lose
no,
your
no.
track of thought. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my perception. And then as we hear at the end of the movie, it's like they're expanding, like the Backrooms are expanding and becoming accessible to people.
Yeah.
And starting
off-
to connect to the actual world. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. First off, I just want to say, when I was kind of talking about like breaking basic rules, I think this was a good example of what I'm talking about, because this isn't breaking any basic rule, but it kind of is. So it's the rule of thirds and your 180 rule in this scene where he's doing his therapy talk. She is still she's framed on the left side, looking the other way. But she's kind of centered. She's not as bad. But then he is dead centered, but he's still, because of how he's sitting, framed almost to the right. So it's like it's like the backer is like, yeah, that's how it's like traditionally supposed to look, but it's kind of weird because it's not actually how that would normally be filmed.
Even the stuff in the real world, a lot of it feels kind of uncanny.
So my theory, I have like I said, like 7 that I feel like could apply, which I think is a good sign. The one I like the most, and I kind of feel there were moments in the real world, like when he goes to recruit Arian and his girlfriend and other scenes. Here's the Christmas tree, by the way. I didn't realize it was in the trailer. That's just a body that was in there. There's Arian, but this is his girlfriend. When he goes to recruit them, like in other different scenes, the sky looks fake.
Yeah, it does.
And maybe that's bad, but like it's a low budget film. I can't imagine that they filmed it in a way and then edited it. So I almost think, and I think the final shot of the movie lends itself to this. Nothing, maybe to a point, maybe there's a point where it does exist. Maybe nothing we see that happens actually is happening in the, like maybe it's all just the Backrooms at an even more developed motion, or maybe it's all in his mind or whatever of like, this is happening in the backroom. Because so the last shot of the movie with the therapist lady, she's sitting, she's talking to the people doing the research on the Backrooms, and then it cuts to a bunch of shots of all the scenes we have seen throughout the movie, but it's in the Backrooms and her face is messed up. And to me, it's almost like a, what if this is what we just watched and it was just in our developed form view? So what if none of what we saw was real and it was all Backrooms? And then it's like, so what does that mean? Is it, I like the idea of mimicry, because I think that is uniquely terrifying for a horror concept of like, what if this is some alternate universe and it wants to replace our universe for whatever reason? So it's trying to mimic the world it's seeing, but it's not quite getting it all right. It wants to make an office building, but it can't really figure it out. So it's leaving blank walls, and it's accidentally bringing the furniture in, but it gets crumbled on itself. And then you get like the exterior shot. It can kind of understand what the outside of a store is going, but it can't figure out the sky. So then if that applies to this whole movie takes place in the Backrooms and they're just going another layer lower, the sky, it's getting better, but the sky is still not good. Like there's still a problem with it, you know?
Yeah.
Which I like as a theory. I also noticed, and this could be completely coincidental, when the therapist chick, right after she's choked out by this guy, and then we cut down to her in the thing, it does that pan down shot in the corner, and there's 9 different levels. Again, this might sound very reach, but to me, there's 9 levels. Dante's Inferno, one of the most widely viewed resources for a description of hell. There's 9 circles of hell. So maybe there's nothing there. Maybe it's a complete coincidence, but I feel like that could be intentional. Of like, and the lower it goes down in hell, the more of a corrupt mockery version of the world it is as it goes down. So there's that. I almost feel like, and I think a lot of the reason I didn't really like the monster reveal a lot is there's points where the movie is kind of telling you like, oh, this exists because of his mind. It's him who's accidentally launched this, which I don't necessarily think it is, because I think there's other things to point to that's probably not the case.
Mm-hmm.
But that also lends itself to liminality in the real world happens mentally when you experience something. You're at a changing point in your life. Everything before is the end of something, and the next is the start of something, and that's kind of a position our main character here is in, of like his marriage is ending and his business collapsing, so the end of his old form of life is there, and now he's on to his new one, which, there's thematic, and I like that was a good thematic choice to do that, because that is the liminality you actually experience, mix that with the liminal space, which is the concept of this, and then that does that. I really, like I said, I really like a lot of the non-Euclidean kind of horror stuff, which is good. But that's another theory I had of like this is, maybe it's like a hell thing, maybe it's hell taking over. I prefer the mimic one, because I think mimicry is very scary, and that's another reason when he was like, you see a peek of him and it's doing his voice, but he's not stepping out into the actual light. I was like, oh, is it trying to mimic him because it just killed him or something?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time it's got a real human that's not in a suit like that, and and in a way it almost does that, and almost, what if that's the big monster?
Yeah.
I also, because horror in general to me is like this with cosmic stuff of like, the human's not going to understand it, and when you look at it from a human perspective, it should seem small. So like, or like you should seem really small and kind of worthless. Very Lovecraftian in that sense of like, Cthulhu does not really give a shit. To a human, it seems like a human's a gnat when it's to Cthulhu, basically. So it's like, and to me, when the monster kills him, that kind of to me rejects the idea of like, oh, this is his own creation, of like, his mind has created this. That and the electrical breaker. That's another thing that lends it, in my opinion, to like the whole movie takes place in the Backrooms, of like the electrical breaker just being in a spot where it could not be, of like, why is that generating like that in the real world if it's not already in the Backrooms, maybe? But
yeah,
again, that's another element. And then
also like you said, the breaker just shouldn't be there. That's like a reflection of an actual breaker. Yeah.
It's trying to mimic it.
Yeah.
So what if the whole movie's taking place in the Backrooms? There's another thing. Again, this one I feel like is more like, could be a complete coincidence than actually intentional. The movie, I can't remember exactly, which kind of annoys me. There's a date on a camera. The scientist guy, when he's looking at his camera, there's a date that's 6/29 or 6/28. 1990, and then the therapist lady's house address number was the other one. It was either 6/28 or 6/29. That one more likely to me is probably a coincidence, but maybe it's not. Maybe there's some key thing there. Maybe there's something to be said about this is the start of a new decade, and it's halfway through the first year of a new decade, and that's what's causing this to. I don't know. It's what I like about horror concepts like this, where it's like, I feel like you can read too much into stuff sometimes, and that's. Yeah. It's a sign of a better story. I'm not sitting here going, oh, well, I don't like this, that, and the other thing, and I don't really care what the theory says. This is just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I think this guy has nothing going for his life, so when he discovers this new Backrooms area, it makes sense that he becomes obsessed with it and wants to find out as much as he can about it.
Yeah, I think that he's a failed architect who never got to be an architect, and now he's
the architect thing lends it to him as well.
He's in this
like architectural
ever-expanding, seemingly infinite world that he gets to chart and understand the architecture of. I thought that was really cool. Him being an architect wasn't just like, oh, he's a accountant, whatever. It actually like mattered to the story.
Yeah, and then so when he has his psycho rant towards the end of the movie, I didn't like a lot of that part of it. I thought it was really good as far as creep wise when he scalped the chick.
Yeah.
Him
Well,
just
it
going,
was-
oh yeah, you can eat the people. I was kind of like, that's a little, and I don't know where to me, but
I agree, but it kind of makes sense, because he gets lost in the back rooms. How's he gonna live?
that is, and the other thing, I guess,
And also, an imperfect reflection of a person in the back rooms wouldn't have. They'd be empty, basically. So they're just fluff.
Yeah. But the idea, maybe he's been down there for 20 years. Like, it's a place at a time. It could be, if it's a hell thing. Who knows? It's exists outside of time itself. Maybe he's been lost down there for a day in the real world, but he's actually been down there for 5 years or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I also
Again, that's
think
just
the woman that was down there in the back rooms, I think that was a reflection
was his wife.
of his wife. Yeah.
With the red hair, I feel like it was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Which is why I thought it was kind of weird. Like every single thing there basically was connected to him, which is kind of where I was like, is this just like it's his mind
except
creating
like
it?
the guy wearing the blue, I don't think he was connected, and then the wheelchair guy, I don't think he was connected.
Maybe, but I also don't know that. But it could be.
On
But
a
every
rewatch,
like,
I could spot.
it's a bunch of furniture, and it's like his signs are in there, and it's his wife maybe, and I don't know about these other guys, and it could be, but
I think it's because. So like the scientist said at the end, there's more openings in the back rooms. Like it's growing and expanding, and it's opening new doors. I think what we've seen of the back rooms for most of that movie was stuff built off of the store, Clark's furniture store.
I mean, that is true.
But we saw towards the end, we saw rooms that were like the neighborhood and different stuff. So
yeah, but also in a sense, I don't disagree fully with your point, but as far as the neighborhood, it's like he's gone there. He has an idea of the neighborhood. Maybe he's now. Again, I kind of think when the thing eats him, it's almost that it's a rejection of the idea that this is just a creation of his mind. It's something he can't understand.
Yeah.
So I just really. The thing I don't like is it's like once he gets eaten by the thing, I'm kind of like, okay, well, we still have an unresolved plot point that I already didn't. I was not a big fan of the MRI company thing. I thought that was.
I didn't
think they developed it I don't think it developed at all, and I kind of felt like at the end
you see it at the start, and then you don't really see him, and then you see
there's
him
one or two moments in the middle, and then the third, and then it just ends with that, and it's kind of like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But then I'm kind of like, okay, so she now is going to escape this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. So I almost far like the idea of like this could happen. Like you could just walk in and you clip through the wall, and all of a sudden you're trapped down there. And then, I mean, yeah, it'd be scary to see giant pirate Clark chasing you, but also the extent of like it could just be fought off with a table, like a little like the leg of it, like that buys you some time. But then also like I almost liked it when the first time he walks through it, he's hearing all these noises. To me, I like the idea that like maybe there is something out there, yes, but it's almost like the villain you create of what's in the back rooms is when you're home alone. Think of you yourself home alone. You're watching TV downstairs. You hear a weird noise for a second. You go, oh, what's that? I'm home alone.
Yeah.
I almost like the idea of like that is the main thing. And yes, there is something out there. I think it would have benefited greatly from when she's running from the Clark monster thing. That moment where she's squeezing through and it's like looking at her through the thing. Imagine instead of like the weird, saddened, angry kind of look, it was more of a terrified kind of look, and then you just see it get dragged away. And then it's like, there is still something far more supernatural. It's like, to me, once the supernatural big boss, who we've kind of heard the whole movie, is a 8-foot-tall pirate man, to me, it just, like, yeah, it's kind of creepy, but I'm also kind of like, I don't find that interesting. I think it's crazier if it's an entity you can't even conceive what it looks like.
I think
again, that is a Lovecraftian kind of description of it. But like and it's just like, but that also lends it to me being like I kind of like the hell read of like it's hell trying to impersonate Earth and like
why
this is just some entity in there. But
liked it is I like the idea of this cosmic kind of space that doesn't necessarily have evil intention. It just is what it is. And then, I don't know, just having like blank generic monster in there it could obviously be incredibly interesting.
I don't want blank generic monster.
No, I mean like weird entity that's in there.
I just wouldn't. I don't want super.
The reason I want
in the middle. I want super. I don't want super limited tunnel vision monster of this applies to this one character in this. I like the idea more of like you right now could walk in right next to your sword under R2D2, press through the wall, fall through.
Mm-hmm.
There's a monster in there, and you wouldn't see it and go, "That's creepy. It's a giant pirate man." Even though, but like me, we watched the movie, so we know this is a thematic monster of like, oh, it's he's psychotic. This is a mental reflection of his psychotic brain almost. Of like, yeah, I mean, it's creepy, but it's like super specific to Clark specifically, and even the therapist, because she has a more in-depth look at him. Whereas like those scientists, yeah, they're probably freaked out by it, but it's also to them, it's just a giant, tall pirate man of like,
as
opposed to this like cosmic entity of I don't know how you portray it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I kind of like the idea if you never see it, that is the big monster that chases her, but then the monster just gets taken and you're just like, oh shit, there's something way worse out there.
Yeah.
That's my opinion,
because
though. I don't know that that's better.
There's the Clark monster, and there's other reflections, but they're pretty benign. I like the idea that the Backrooms could have hundreds or thousands of different Clark monsters out there.
Which I think it does.
As it connects to different places, and I like that it's based in those monsters, those like terrifying things in the Backrooms would be based in it trying to mirror reality in some way and warping it into something that's like terrifying and monstrous. I think that's very interesting, and it also adds to like this can keep happening, and the reason that we're just seeing the Clark monster is kind of because like we're just seeing Clark's story play out. So
yeah, I don't disagree.
Thematically, I think it works really well.
I don't disagree with that point. This whole thing has been uncanny to a point of it almost looks like and something about the monster being distinctly humanoid. It really annoys me that this green screen effect is messing with all these things. it almost makes this one scarier, but
It actually does.
That it's a very humanoid type of monster. You know, like this from this is I think Kane's first Backrooms thing. This this monster here, like what the hell is that? Like,
yeah.
Which maybe I'm not saying you're going that would be the better monster, but like
having something that's
it's almost like
so
this whole
room,
scary. This whole room you do not understand. It has no link to what life should be, even though it's trying to mimic it. To me, the big monster is something that's been there since the start. It should almost have no reflect, and maybe that's out there. But again, I don't know, and this could just be my like I've kind of tunnel visioned on my own theory, and I really like, but it's like or my own opinion on it. But like, I think because I'm not gonna like her being chased down by monsters. She somehow miraculously survives, even though she probably shouldn't. From a real like she's tripping and falling and breaking her leg, and like horror,
yeah.
And she's in a thing, and then she magically finds the one spot in this 6 million square foot area that has the other people are in right now, and they have a thing set up to stall for her. And is that actually contrived? Is it just because this is only the second door to the Backrooms and it's still expanding ever more? And that too, I guess you could say. But to me, of like, if that monster gets dragged off into the distance and it's getting destroyed, of like, yeah, there's nothing they can. The humans cannot contain this room. They will never. Whereas like they put Saran wrap around the pirate and they trapped it in the MRA place, and I'm kind of like, something like that does make me think probably not the big boss monster, but it's the only one we saw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know, and I think you could do a sequel to this movie and have none of these characters return. It's just a completely separate person's encounter of the Backrooms. Would that have any effect? I don't know if that's a great idea. It might lose its nuance to an extent if you keep doing that. But as long as they never answer these questions, I think it's fine. Which is a really weird thing to say, but that's what lends it. That's the horror, I think, genre that lends itself to that. Of I have a million ideas. Maybe it's hell. Maybe it's a mimic of our reality being placed in here. Maybe none of the movie happened, and maybe it's just all in his mind. And all of those almost can work from a movie point of view.
That's a cool thing about like when Mystery Box is done well. It allows a lot of the theory crafting and stuff. That's very fun to do, and
it's still fun to do in The Force Awakens when it was the first thing out. It's like, oh, what is Snoke? Is this, that, and the other thing? The problem is, as a science fiction fantasy adventure story, they're gonna have to answer those questions.
Yeah, I want you to tell me.
You cannot tell the story. You can't continue telling the story without answering. Whereas with a horror thing, you shouldn't and don't have to.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there any other major? What do you think of the final shots of the movie? So after she finishes talking to the guy and it does the final shots of the back room. So
I thought what I was talking about how they're, being other monster reflections in the back rooms. I thought that was showing that to me, that it's already like in the mere maybe hours since, they defeat the Clark monster and she gets away safely. The Backrooms is already building and expanding more. It's already building new rooms based on where they are now, and it's already creating new like monsters and I thought that was really cool to show that it's like it's always expanding.
So that was me. I interpret that as, because that's what my view of it is like that for me was the confirmation, even though it's not confirmation, it's speculation based off the shots of like none of this happened. This was all in the back rooms type thing.
That's fair.
And a lot of this, by the way, does just come down to me looking at a sky at one point in the background going, that looks kind of weird. But in a movie where everything looks kind of weird as part of the thing, I guess it's Lynn's supposed to be a question. So Clark does his rant and he says the whole thing's it's almost beautiful in a way. And at that point through the movie, you're like, none of this has been beautiful. You're kind of taking a piss, man. At that moment, some of those shots, I was kind of like, that looks uniquely beautiful in a way, which with the score kind of in the background helping it, and it shouldn't because it's a piss yellow filter over everything, but it does. They look it's kind of neat. Like, it's kind of like, that's kind of interesting. I feel like that was, and I think maybe that was the purpose of those shots. And then it cuts to her being alone with nothing else around her as a memory of the thing. Is that like, this happened in 1990. This is a memory of it. It can't quite remember. There was someone else in the room, but something, I don't know. I think there's a lot of questions. But I did like those final shots because to me it did bring it back away from the back room. Still exists despite the fact that Clark's dead and the Clark monster's gone. So it is probably not an extension of his mind. The scene where she like sits there and calls him insane, I think to a extent is fine. I think I'm trying to even think of what to say to. I think it's mostly fine. I think it's a little extreme almost of like she's just calling him insane. She's like, you're a psychotic. I kind of like the thing of like you just whine all the time and you kind of hear some whining noises to the back room almost as the Clark monster probably, but the thematic thing of like he's like I just keep saying thematic. I can't even, what's even the theme of this movie? I had one and I've kind of forgotten it since then. I haven't my brain isn't functioning on the theme of this movie, but I know there is one. I think
you can draw you can draw more than one out of the movie as a whole, especially with the ending.
Yeah. Maybe it's the idea of like living in the real world and not living in your past memories. That's maybe more of a very broad one, but like if he just lived in the real world, dealt with his problems as he faces them, He might have been a better husband. His business might not have collapsed so easily. And he would probably still be alive, but instead he fled to the Backrooms, which, as he describes it, or maybe she doesn't remember, it's a memory of the world, like a reflection of memory, and it's like he fled to that, he's killed, everything else collapses, type thing. I can throw that out there as that. I don't know. They didn't go the old protecting. She didn't stand there at the guy and go,
and tell
the
us what the
Backrooms
theme was.
The Backrooms shows that kindness isn't the new punk rock. And then it didn't go, I'm a punk rock. Yes, I am. Yeah, they didn't do the thing where they just explicitly say the theme, even though the whole movie didn't lend itself to that. But I kind of think that was part of it. I think you're right. There's a couple different themes you could probably take, but I think that one of like living in the real world, not fleeing to your memories of better times is better and is the way to handle things.
I also think circling back to what you said a minute ago about the ending shots showing like parts of the Backrooms that you can actually like see as beautiful, that helped make it more reasonable that Clark could go crazy and like want to live in there. That, as well as seeing the monster is him, could help with that as well. And when he first would have been stranded in the Backrooms, one of the first things he would have had to do is confront himself, the Clark monster, and then kill Kat or watch Kat be killed.
True.
Based on what we see later, her head in the freezer.
That is true.
Those things back to back, watching Billy get killed by something, seeing this reflection of himself, and then somehow being involved in Kat getting brutally killed, it makes sense how he could snap, and as a way of coping in trying to accept like all this crazy stuff happening, like going crazy and almost being in like a semi-permanent state of shock.
And again, I feel like my take of like none of what the movie happened in the world, that was all Backrooms. It's just a more advanced one. I also came of like, I feel like they intentionally showed us shots of stuff that we've never seen in the Backrooms, but we've seen through the movie. That's another reason I kind of interpreted that of like, those were choice. Like, why would you show us the store, the outside of the store? We've only seen that in the real world. Why would you show us Arian and his girlfriend's house in their small neighborhood? We've only seen that outside of the Backrooms. There's also the whole thing of the therapist talking about the window of his mind. And there's that drawing that was very creepy and reminiscent of some of Kane's older stuff of finding graffiti in the Backrooms. Would you have liked to see any rooms more like this kind of stuff, I guess? Here, I'll show some of the stuff here. Not just the yellow wallpaper stuff, but like kind of more of a developed office. Or do you think it was fine to just do the yellow stuff?
I think it was fine how they had it. I think it made sense that it started very much like a back room of his store, and then as you go deeper, you get some different stuff, but it still feels like
that's this one's creepy.
It's
this quad here.
Yeah, it still feels like most of what you see is an offshoot of the store, and then towards the end, it feels like you're getting into some areas that might be offshoots of different places.
Oh, I like that. Sounds like a basement of a house.
Yeah.
Kind of got a kitchen room over here. Again, there's like no plugs or anything on the wall or like switch here, like chair, like stuff that should be in a finished room, especially with a light and stuff like that, but it's not there. I agree that I think it was fine, but I also think stuff like this almost does that. Like this looks like a basement of a house. Everyone's been in a basement of a house, so you see this and you're like, I feel like I've been to that house. I've seen that exact layout before.
Yeah,
whereas like office building almost
like
to an
this.
extent. Office building almost to an extent is like you've seen one kind of, but it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I did enjoy it. I think it is worth seeing in theater. Dude, I couldn't get a ticket to this freaking movie. It was harder for me to get ticket opening day to Backrooms than it was to a Star Wars movie. Just it hints the title of the movie. I got good seats to a Star Wars movie in IMAX on opening night, whereas Backrooms, the IMAX was completely sold out, and I could only get into a random like 7:05 showing on a Friday in a theater that had like 3 rows of seats.
Yeah.
And the entire thing was sold out. But there was one section dead in the middle that had 3 seats available. I snagged the middle seat. Therefore, no one who is coming with their... Because no one goes to a horror movie by themselves. Only loser chuds like me. Everyone goes with their girlfriend. So, and I will say, part of the movie, kind of ruined by, like, a dude getting up to take a piss and then a girlfriend explaining what he missed. And, like, literally pointing to a screen going, look, it's that thing! I'm just like, shut up.
Yeah.
It didn't happen a lot, but it happened
at the start of the movie. We had people like still coming in, so the whole found footage opening, there would be parts where someone was walking in front of the projector and blocking out parts of the screen, and I leaned over and I was like, I'm gonna freak out if this keeps happening for more than like 5 minutes of this movie.
I'm not gonna comment on that because I came in late, but.
I know, but there's coming in late and then there's the walking in front of the projector. I know it's just where you happen to be sitting. Like if you're at the back, you're going to do it. But that just pisses me off because it's like, oh, you're walking around, like, whatever. I can ignore that and just watch the movie. But if you're literally blocking a third of the screen with your shadow, that's so annoying. But yeah.
I know what you're thinking. 24 million? That's not a lot of money for a second weekend. No, it's not. 252 million worldwide. It had a 70% drop, I believe, second weekend.
It was either like high 60s or 70.
If you're wondering, 70%'s really bad.
That means
as a second weekend drop.
That means
like a good one would be what, 50?
50 or lower.
A good one's probably 60, but like,
yeah. I mean,
I would say
Obsession
or not 60, sorry, 40, sorry.
Obsession went up after the first
but
weekend.
I think that was they might have added more theaters.
I think it was partially that, and it was also
a temp.
That's a much smaller movie. So if you have good word of mouth, a smaller movie like that, it's not insane that could happen, but it is still very impressive.
A tentpole box office hold though, I think good. What did let me try to find Maverick. Or not Maverick, sorry. I wouldn't compare the best movie of all time to Top Gun Maverick.
No, it's
box office hold because that thing had the
Top
greatest
Gun Maverick had the greatest
ever. Box office legs anyone has ever seen. Let's do just Project Hail Mary because it came out this year and was quite good. Let me find its hold if I can. It had a domestic 33% drop, if I'm reading this right at all.
What did? Sorry.
Hail Mary.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty
so, which that's like really good, I think. I don't even think. What was the last good tentpole movie? Or sorry, not tentpole. What was the last good Star Wars or not even Star Wars? Yeah, there isn't a good Star Wars. What's like, that kind of movie, I guess, that had I would say, even though kind of a box office disaster, what's Superman's box office hold? Because,
I don't think
definitely
Superman's drop off, I don't think was super crazy. It just never had super high numbers.
True.
Like its opening.
Because I think that was a good like average box office drop off. I think.
Yeah, it had a decent
50%, 53% drop in the second weekend.
Superman didn't have a bad hold. It didn't have.
I would say like
it
an
just
average
didn't have a big draw at the start.
I would say like an average, like a decent hold is about 50%. A bad hold is anything really below 50% because I'd say 50% is basically the tipping point of good to bad hold. Yeah. You usually will get. With Marvel, they would get super high first weekend, 40-ish% drop off. the disasters like Quantum Mania. Let me look up Quantum Mania's drop. Will do like insane number because that was still when people thought stuff was gonna be good. They would do insane numbers the first weekend and then had a 70% drop. So that ended up being a little more thematic than I thought it was going to be.
The thing with
70% is a horrible drop.
It's really bad. And the reason is with Marvel specifically, I think in the last like basically since Endgame and with certain movies before Endgame as well. There's a lot of people that are going to be there.
Spider-Man.
There's a lot of people that are going to be there opening night no matter what. And then there's a lot of people who are like, all right, I'm going to see it in the first couple weeks. And then there's a bunch of people that are just, all right, if I hear it's good, I'll go see it. And if I hear it's bad, I won't. I feel like Marvel has they really have that market down.
Okay,
like they have their fans
good...
that see everything. They have their people that take their time, but they're probably going to see most of the stuff. And then they have a lot of people that are just, if it's well regarded, I'll go see it.
And I'll say 70% box office drop. It doesn't mean, oh, this is a disaster. Because Spider-Man No Way Home, for example, had a 67% box office drop. Obviously, there's nuance to that of it did $260 million its first weekend. It's never going to do a 50% box office drop because most people have seen it. This is rewatches, and it's still $84 million. Whereas Mando did, what did it even do? $84 million last week? No, it didn't. So Spider-Man No Way Home's second weekend was bigger than Mando's opening. So a 70% from, so if the Spider-Man, so let's compare the Spider-Man second weekend to third weekend here. It's a 30% drop from the second weekend. So Mando's first weekend to second weekend is the same number as this, but it's going from this number down to this number. That's not good. It's going from this down to this.
That's
as opposed to this to this. Like this would have been, if the movie was doing really healthy, it would have done 56 million again. Notably, it did not. This is really bad.
Yeah, 70% is
Ooh, $24 million, a lot of money. Not when you spend $200 million on a movie.
Plus marketing.
Yeah, not good. Star Wars in its second weekend is third in the box office. That's not good. Look, 3. That's bad. There's a reason it's red. What did even like Rise of Skywalker? What did it do? All right. Should I directly compare this to Solo first because that's been the one that's been drawing the main?
Yeah, I would compare it to Solo because its projections were coming in very similar to Solo's opening. But I know its drop off was significantly
so Solo had a 65% drop.
So not significantly
which is
worse, but worse.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
This is about what it's tracking with, but worse.
Yeah, that's bad.
And then,
that's really bad.
I mean, even it like let me pull up Rise of Skywalker. What was its drop? Because this is the first Star Wars movie in 7 years. So.
Yeah, and those numbers for Solo are also, 10 years old and inflation.
10 years. It's 8, right? 2018.
Okay, 8. So inflation. Solo made more money.
It's gonna be some.
Grogu.
So like Rise of Skywalker, did $177 million its opening weekend, had a 59% drop. But the notable thing you'll see, and I kind of forgot to even look at this with Solo, is that it was at the very least number one, and number one.
And then number 2.
Yes. Fourth weekend, it dropped to number 2. Whereas Solo, what did it do? It was at least number 1 in its second weekend. What came out that dethroned it? Ocean's 8. Oh. Oh. Rough.
That's not.
Dude, Avengers Infinity War in June did 7 million day.
How long after release was that?
It came out in March.
So that's what, 3 months?
Gosh, 257 and it only dropped 50%. Yeah, so April 27th. So sorry, not March, but April to June 8th is still 5th.
That's crazy.
All right, just for shits and giggles, let me pull up Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, it's good. -1%, -1%, -1%. It's not that crazy, but it's, oh my gosh.
Basically,
it's
just watch this again. By the way, banger. Or by again, I mean not since last time. But 1, 1, 2, 3. It went back up. That's how like.
It started to go down. And
what
then
knocked
like,
it down? I guess. Yeah, Lightyear and Jurassic World came out, and then they were like, "What?" And then there was like,
it was like, ooh,
yeah, you know what?
Jurassic
World kind of buns. So it was actually outside of new releases, it went back to the #1 spot. So outside of Elvis, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
dude, it stayed at #2. Like this is absurd.
The stuff that came out after it kept just topping. Ooh.
Oh, that's way worse.
Well, Love and Thunder people thought was going to be good before, so that
I'm not saying compared to Top Gun. I'm just saying, dude, it went back to 2nd on August 12th. What is this?
It went back to 1.
It did? Wait, no way.
After that, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Plus 27%. That's insane.
Oh, nothing came out though, I guess.
Yeah, but that's still crazy.
It was in the middle of a dead zone. So in the middle of a dead zone, people are like, let's head back to Top Gun. That's hilarious.
That's just people going.
And it came back to 11th in December 2nd.
That's just a bunch of people going.
Plus 2,000.
Plus 2,000 is crazy. That's literally just people going, oh shit, it's still in theaters? Let's go back.
I haven't seen it in Dolby yet. Let's go check that one out. What was your preferred Top Gun viewing method? How many times did you even watch it in theaters?
I think I saw
I watched it like 7.
I think like
not counting
3?
my rewatch for the
3
for the 40th anniversary of Top Gun. I saw it 7 times.
I want to say 3. I would have watched it more, but I couldn't. So,
dude, I'm so mad because the first
my
time
parents
I
were
watched
like,
it
we're not going to a movie 4 times. It's like,
was
no,
a
no,
movie?
no.
My first viewing.
Yes, we
dude,
are.
My first viewing was in the crappy theater. I didn't go to the good theater. It was a disaster.
Yeah.
It was still banger. It was still incredible. And then the next time I saw it was with you in a much better theater.
That was so
and then the next time I saw it was in Dolby, which Dolby Atmos was my favorite way to watch it. And then I watched it in the same IMAX we watched Superman in.
Mm-hmm.
I got to watch it in that. That was in December, though. I didn't watch that until December. I was part of this plus 2,000 down here. I know I watched it a couple other times between then.
Yeah.
It's just good, dude. I couldn't stop going.
It's just really good.
My dad watched it in theaters more time than me. Because he kept going back with other people. I basically went with him almost every time I watched it, and then he went back with other people.
It's one of few legacy sequels that...
It is that and Cobra Kai, I'd say, are the only legacy... And it was better than Cobra Kai, but, like...
Yeah.
It's the only 2 legacy sequels I can even think of where I'm like, that was a good, fair version of a legacy sequel.
And it's like, not only did it measure up to the original, but you can argue it's better. I personally like it more than the original.
Yeah, and then obviously, you couldn't have... It wouldn't be as good. But it's not a movie you can watch without the original.
That's always the sequel argument, is it's like, okay, well, it wouldn't even exist without the first one.
But that's not what I'm arguing. I'm even saying from a story standpoint, it relies so much on the first one. You need all of the stuff with Iceman and Goose done and then in the background, and Maverick's ability, obviously. And then even the line, there's a bunch of lines about Penny and a lot of Maverick's personality. You need all that had happened in order for the sequel to even have 6. Like,
that's true. That's true.
It that really boosts Rooster's character, Iceman's involvement in the second one, Maverick's overall decision to even steal the F-18, and my favorite scene ever. Maybe not ever. It's pretty close though. With him fight, like, you need all of that. Is all heavily relied on with the first. Watching them back to back, like I did when they came out back again in theaters. almost made me appreciate that more. I already kind of knew it, but
Yeah,
dude, just the greatest legs of all time.
Yeah, and that shows you like
the fact that it got back to number one is crazy.
Sequels and legacy sequels and stuff. They don't all have to be Tron Ares. They can be good. It doesn't have to be Jurassic World. It doesn't have to be.
My bad, Tron.
Like,
don't know why we went straight for Tron and not like Indiana Jones.
It doesn't have to be Indiana Jones. It can be good. It doesn't have to be shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to just be
immortal
look
man.
at the title and the logo. It's this IP back. Come watch it. It's great.
Based off
it can
every other
be
movie.
really good.
Based off every other legacy sequel we've gotten, the movie should have had Maverick going, I want to kill myself, I don't want to be here, and then Phoenix made him realize that she was the future and she was the more important fighter, and Rooster was kind of there, but he's more of a bait and switch, takes a back seat, and then Maverick goes, that's great, I think I'll just die, and that's the end of the movie. That's what every other legacy sequel is. The main hero they brought back's like, yeah, I think I'll just die now.
Yeah, instead it was like, no, he's actually still got it. He's him.
It's kind of insane how many, because Maverick sacrifices himself, and it's a sacrifice. It's not a, yeah, I guess I'll just kill myself.
Yeah.
But it's kind of absurd that every legacy sequel, they just go, yeah, I'll just die then.
Yeah,
Han
like,
Solo, yeah, I guess I'll just die. Harrison Ford, or no, I just said Han Solo, Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones.
Yeah, you get Harrison Ford twice.
I think I'll just die. Luke Skywalker, yeah, I'll just die. Tommy Shelby and the Immortal Man, yeah, I'll just die.
Yep.
Every single legacy sequel, main guy. Yeah, I think I'll. Not only do I suck now, I'll just die too.
I'm actually a terrible, worthless piece of garbage, and I'll probably just die now.
And I've wanted to die since the start, so I'll just go ahead and die.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I was never a cool, good person. I was always a worthless piece of garbage, and now I finally get to die like I should. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. Speaking of wanting to die.
Oh no! Yeah! Wait!
Superman. She's a good in everyone.
My cousin and I
really want to play this just to hear if she says
looks so
Superman sees
dumb.
the good in everyone. I see the truth. Oh, we're gonna get a scene where she takes the uniform off.
Yeah, for the whole movie.
Well, I mean, If
Okay. All right.
I'm not gonna be one of these people who go, Millie Alcock's ugly.
I don't think anyone has said
in particular shot she has been. No, oh dude, people have been saying that all over the place.
All right.
Dude. Look, in fairness to them, they've chosen some shots where she doesn't look great. But like, I'm not gonna sit there. I'm not, if everyone else wants to throw her away, hey. I didn't think your movie's gonna suck completely, but hit me up. Dude. Ew.
Oh no, Caleb! It's Super Fire Space City slop.
I was worried. I thought she was gonna be in her costume. She's in a dirty T-shirt though. That's good. That's what I wanted.
From the Supergirl movie.
I want this shot of Crypto. It looks awful. It looks like it's gonna look awful.
It looks like it's gonna look awful.
I'm trying not to get copyright struck at the same time though. So, oh, that does look awful.
Dude, that looks like a real dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
Looks terrible.
That's not James Gunn's dog.
Look how bad this looks. I'm checking the stream. This isn't even our green screen color filter. This just looks bad. This one comes across pretty clearly.
Yeah, it's coming off. I think it actually looks better with the gear, but
why does this look like a hot dog?
From the angle right before this shot, it looked like Luke's speeder and.
Dude, it looks like a hot dog. Look, there's mustard. This is the dog.
There's mustard. This is the bun.
No, there's no bun though. That's the only thing it's missing.
Yeah. This is just Guardians 4. Like,
it's not even directed by James Gunn. No, don't worry, dude. Everyone's gonna see it. Lobo's in the movie.
I hope Jason Momoa had fun. Like, I don't know.
Dude, there's people genuinely going, Lobo's in it. It's gonna, even though no one cares about Supergirl, Lobo's in it. It's gonna do great at the box office. Dude.
No.
I know a decent bit about a lot. My DC knowledge pretty low. I'm not gonna sit here and be like I'm a DC guy. I'm not even really a comics guy. I wouldn't say. Not gonna lie, never heard of Lobo before this. Never heard of him.
The first time I heard of Lobo was
in connection with Jason Momoa.
It was a few years ago. Him being like, "Yeah, I want to play Lobo."
That is literally the first time
please get me out of Aquaman. I want to play Lobo.
Oh, you guys are casuals. Sure. The point being, that's not a box office draw if I don't know what Lobo is. You know who also wasn't going to know who Lobo is? Christian Data 4, who Millie Alcock also, by the way, told she doesn't even want to see his movie. Him see her movie.
You can say you disagree with that doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. That doesn't matter. That's 5 tickets that you just said, yeah, I don't care about this person. Data 4 is 5 tickets.
Ooh, this is good. Look, I thought she was going to be
brings his wife. That's 6 tickets. Maybe they love the movie and they see it 2-3 times.
12 tickets, 18 tickets. By the way, I was worried. I thought she was going to be fighting in that costume. Thankfully, jeans, t-shirt, we're good.
Good. I didn't want to see the costume.
It's just Guardians. It's like a bad Guardians. It's probably about what Guardians 4 would have been like. Oh, good. I thought she was going to be in the costume. Looks like she's in the t-shirt and jeans there, so that's good.
Close call.
That's what I'm going for. That's what I want in the Supergirl. That's what I want in my Supergirl movie.
Ew, the costume? What? No. Put some street. No, that was sarcasm.
Oh, I thought you were doing a bit. Sorry.
No, I think the costume looks good, but
it was just because I also happen to have the costume on screen. That's how I thought you were doing a bit.
Yeah. No, well, I was doing a bit. I was saying.
Or sorry, I didn't realize you were doing
off the screen.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, we want more street clothes in our superhero movies. Oh,
this is the kind of shot that has people saying she looks ugly, by the way.
It's just a bad-looking shot.
Yeah.
That CGI goop. All
of this fight, this just reminds me of Flash.
Yeah, it's like, why is it so smoky and there's
it's the out in the open, this like circular kind of dome feel to it.
It's like you're in the wide Flash. You're in the wide open and you feel like you're like enclosed in a small space because it's not like you don't feel like you're out in a big interactive area. You're just in this tiny space.
I thought I got a bad freeze frame. It's this whole shot.
It doesn't feel like a real place
gosh.
Is what it is. Oh, dear heavens. That's bad.
Also, this is just a bad version of that one Superman shot they put in every single trailer.
Which is a great shot, but
the problem is they got overused and it had no weight when it happened in the movie because I'd seen it a million times.
Yeah.
Okay, I can definitely see why people are like, oh, she's ugly. All of her action faces are really bad.
Yeah, the action faces look weird. That's fair.
Hey, I mean, if everyone wants to write her off, dude, that's fine. You know, hey. I always thought she was a pretty decent casting. I just thought this was an absurd decision.
Yeah. I thought the casting...
How much money box office? What's your prediction? I think probably 2-3 billion. What do you think?
I think 4.
I guess to be fair, we should go opening weekend. What 600?
Opening weekend like 800 million probably.
So you don't think this headline you don't think this headline is very good?
What? No.
Do you want to read this headline? You want to read this headline out loud?
Supergirl box office tracking points to worst case scenario.
Oh. That's not good.
But
this is from
I thought
this
it was
is from
By
the way, this is from Cosmic Book of News. So not even like some like anti James Gunn, anti Hollywood source. This is like they have an article said Man of Tomorrow, everything we know about James Gunn's sequel. You know, they're like, we love Superman here website. This isn't like they probably loved Peacemaker. Let me see if they have an article on Peacemaker before we go through this whole. I can scroll down a little bit if you want to start reading through this. Like,
all right. Supergirl could be heading towards the exact worst case box office scenario I previously warned about. The first long range tracking
hold
numbers.
on, real quick. Pause. Brother. I previously
Yeah, that was.
Bro,
I was
everybody
gonna say
knew
this
this.
is written poorly, but sorry, I was reading the bottom. Frank Grillo raps Man of Tomorrow going to be effing dynamite. No, it's not. It's gonna be terrible. The first long range tracking numbers are now out.
Real quick, in fairness, they do have like all of their Peacemaker articles are just calling Peacemaker shit. So, you know what? Fine. maybe I wasn't giving them enough credit. Point is, Cosmic Book News isn't exactly an anti-James Gunn source.
Yeah.
Which I think she's pretty hot.
Yeah, I feel like that should be pretty universal.
It's not though. Weirdly.
It's projected to land between 107 million and 181 million.
Dude, Supergirl is currently tracking for a 47 million to 65 million domestic. That is awful.
That's really
Full
bad.
domestic run projected to land between 100 and 181.
That's lower than Mandalorian and Grogu.
A $47 million opening will put this movie right in the Marvels range, the MCU's worst performing movie of all time. The Marvels open low, collapse fast, and finish only with 206 million worldwide. You know what the Marvels also did?
Hold on, go down. Right there. Up. Right there.
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that. Hold on.
Let me read that when we get to it.
We'll get to that in a second. You know what happened after the Marvels performed the way it did?
What?
Disney decided, you know what? Maybe we should try to change the MCU. Now they failed miserably, but they still launched into them trying. So
Yeah.
that's usually good for your second one. Here we go. You ready?
While Supergirl does not have to open like Superman to be considered a win, it still needs enough momentum to reach a respectable worldwide total. Superman lost money, and it lost a large amount of money.
Maybe it might have made like $1,000.
It might have made.
We will get the real numbers. Apparently,
They might have
at some point
profited
later this year.
literally a $2 bill.
We'll see later this year. I think we do get the real Superman numbers, so it might have made money, but it's not. It's going to be close.
I don't think it made money, but with all the merch sales for James Gunn's Superman shit logo, I'm sure they made
I'd be kind of
billions.
surprised if it cost under $300 million to make the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they spent probably $250 million marketing that thing. So that's like,
Marketing was insane for that movie.
and it was awful.
This is gonna sound weird, but I'm going to explain it. The movie looked so bad, I know it was extremely expensive to make because of how much fake CGI shit was literally in every single scene. That costs money, and it looks terrible.
Yeah. Also, Toy Story 5, which is going to suck balls, but is going to make $1 trillion, comes out a week before, and then Minions and Monsters, that is going to suck balls and make $1 trillion, comes out right after. And then Moana comes out after that.
Dude.
This movie is going to have a terrible opening and then like a 70% drop.
The Moana live action
And
looks so
We can
bad.
all agree it's probably going to suck. I think that's a pretty fair judgment to make based on this.
Yeah.
And
Regardless
so,
of quality, it's going to
the
fail.
only reason Superman made the amount of money it did is because families had nothing else to watch. They're like, let's go watch Superman. It's got a dog. It's fun. It's Superman. He's happy. He's nice. It says be kind.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Go take kids to it. I don't know why you hate your kids, but go do that.
Well, because kids are dumb and they deserve to have
You could watch
dumb
Cars.
movies.
You could watch Cars, but no.
You could watch Iron
Wall-E.
Giant. You could watch Cars. You could watch Wall-E. You could watch The Incredibles. You could watch Ratatouille.
You could watch the original Toy Story.
You could watch the original Toy Story. You could watch
Cars 2.
Maybe skip Toy Story 2 because it's not as good. And then you could go watch Toy Story 3 and your kids could cry, but they could appreciate a really good movie. Because, hey, maybe sometimes kids should experience emotions while watching movies, and it shouldn't all just be slop going, "Eee." Maybe kids should have good, complex movies so they aren't stupid.
They thought this thing was going to make $425 million? Are you stupid?
No!
Superman made 600 something. Supergirl is
And that's just to be
less
good
popular.
enough.
And Supergirl is a less popular split character in most viewpoints.
Yeah. I mean, most people, it's literally just less popular.
The
Superman.
budget is estimated around 165 to 170. I think this thing is a minimum 225, and that's being extremely generous.
Yeah.
That is being extremely generous. And it's also going to have a fat marketing budget. So using the usual 2.5x rule, that 425 million looks way less like a major success target and more like a rough break-even point. So WV feels Supergirl is good enough as long as it doesn't lose money. Yeah. Bad news for you there, guys. Problem is, new tracking does not make that 425 look easy. No, it really doesn't. The movie can land much closer to 200 million worldwide. I think that would be... I think 200 million at this point is almost a success for them compared to for how bad this movie might be and what it's coming out around. I think 200 million might be like, that was we did way better than we should have type thing.
Yeah.
Supergirl could lose big. It's going to lose big. You see, then you get shots like this. And it's like, I can see why people want to be,
I mean,
why people want to be extremely harsh, but I know it's also because she's being annoying with her interviews, and
yeah,
it's going to be an awful movie. Backlash is not helping. Yeah, I mean, there she go talking. She probably shouldn't have stopped, though. She probably should stop running her mouth. Probably a good, safe idea, And that goes to basically every actor, by the way. It's not just her.
Just talk about your movies.
Just go, we worked really hard on this movie, and I can't wait for you guys to all see it. Oh, what do you think about politics? I'm an actor. We worked really hard on this movie. I can't wait for everyone to go see it. Michael Jordan. Even Republicans buy sneakers, right? Like, pretty simple. It's a pretty simple concept,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you hate Christian dads of 5? Well, that's 5 people who come watch my movie, so no. I'm not stupid.
Especially, it was from a lens of, like, it's a Supergirl movie, so men aren't the target audience anyway. Women are the target audience. Dad of 4,
dude.
That could be a dad with 4 daughters. Do you not want a father of 4 daughters to take his 4 daughters to see the Supergirl movie?
We are rapidly approaching straight white males. This movie isn't made for you. 1 week later, why aren't straight white males going to see this movie? That is what Supergirl is going to be.
That's every single thing. It's like Starfleet Academy.
That's what Supergirl will be.
Starfleet Academy. It's, hey, this is made for new fans. This isn't made for our existing Star Trek fans. And then it fails, and they're like, well, why weren't Star Trek fans here to watch the show? It's like, well, because you told them to screw off and that it wasn't for them. This is... People in Hollywood don't know what a target audience is anymore, and they can't make things for a target audience. One of the only people right now that understands it is Taylor Sheridan. Is his stuff perfect? No. Is all of his stuff good? No. Does it cater to his target audience, and does it do it really well?
Is it stupidly simple? Yes.
Is it simple?
Reacher.
Yes. But does it cater to its target audience? Yes. Taylor Sheridan isn't going to come out with a new show and go, all right, guys who think
cowboys
guys who think cowboys are badass and guns are badass, this movie's not for you. He's not going to do that because that's what he's been able to do so well, is get his target audience and make it. I hate Hallmark movies. They have their target audience and they hit it well. Big movies can't do that anymore. They think you have to target to literally everyone, which you can't do. You're not going to make a movie in general that every person is going to like. And you're especially not going to make superhero movies, comic book movies, fantasy and sci-fi movies. Those are, while they are wildly popular a lot of the time, they're not universally liked. I'm not going to say they're niche because they're super huge, but not everyone likes them. Lord of the Rings, greatest trilogy of all time, it won a bunch of awards. Not everyone likes it. Not everyone has seen it. It's
Escape Pod.
It's really widely known, but it is
box us
almost semi-niche in a way that, like, not everyone's gonna like it. Just like not everyone's gonna like a Hallmark movie. movies need to go back to a time where they have a target audience. And there can be a very wide or a very general appeal to a lot of movies. Like, most people love Top Gun Maverick. That had a very wide appeal. But it wasn't going, hey, this movie's not for you, this movie's not for you. It was, everyone can enjoy this movie. But it wasn't marketed as... Do you understand what I'm saying? It wasn't marketed as like,
let me
made
try
this
to simplify
for these
this bit
people
for you.
or whatever.
Let me try to simplify this bit for you.
Target
Barbie
audiences aren't a bad thing.
Barbie was a movie made by women for women. At the end of the day, it still had like a 70-30 male to female split. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so movies that are made for women are still like 70-30 to 60-40 because usually the boyfriend or the husband gets dragged to go see it because you dragged her to movie number 65 of you dragged her to
action
movie
number
50th
Marvel movie in a row.
Yeah, exactly. So what you're saying is if Barbie was like, we're making this for the men,
it's like, what? No.
Yeah, exactly.
If all the Barbie marketing was like, if you like guns and cowboys, Barbie's for you. It's like, no, what the hell are you talking about? It's Barbie. But
now if they made Ken the movie and it was all about how awesome men are, based on the Barbie movie, it might actually do pretty well.
Yeah.
But they couldn't go, actually, all this is bad. They would have to do that scene where Ken's like horses and patriarchy and being a dude's awesome. And they'd have to go, yeah, this is all badass. They couldn't go, nah, that all sucks, actually.
Actually,
right?
Horses and money and suits and cowboys aren't cool. I was like, wait.
Well, in fairness, Dave Filoni's doing an insanely bad PR for
he's
cowboys.
setting well, he's not a real cowboy.
I know,
he just wears the hat.
I know, but he gives. But still, you look at him.
Hey guys.
He's not even a fake one. Like Rip's a fake cowboy, but he does better for the cowboy world than
that's true.
Than Dave Filoni is making the stereotype what people already view cowboys as.
This is true. But what I was saying about target audiences, that's from like how you're making the movie and who you're marketing towards. But it's also not everyone is going to like one thing, and that's okay. Me and you, even, who have very similar interests, we could watch the same movie. We could both watch a movie that's objectively good, and one of us could be like, yeah, I really like this. And one of us could be like, it's just not really my thing. It's not like what I'm
like
into.
hypothetically, we watch a movie and you're like, that was great all the way through, and I'm like, I kind of thought the third act was a little weak.
Exactly. Like, even people with very similar interests.
By the way, though, I will just say, you don't agree with my take. I think you belong in prison and should die.
Well,
just
yeah,
so
you
know.
said
We're done.
You said the third act of that movie was bad, so
Well, I didn't. Okay, hold on. I didn't say it was bad.
lock your doors. You cutting you off. Never speaking again. This is the last. Number 4 is subjectively correct. Number 40, the last one.
The end, because we finally
over.
disagreed.
The finale. We didn't agree on our pre-made talking points.
By the way, Escape Pod podcast, box us. Tag team boxing match.
Tag team
right
box
now.
Us right now, we will win. I'll use one hand.
It'll be a good. It'll lock me fully in on my diet.
Could we
instead
do
of like the partial diet?
Could we do MMA?
What? No, that'd be too unfair. They would never agree to that.
I've never wrestled before. I don't have it. Oh. I'd have to cut some weight for that. They're both skinny chaps. Actually, we both would.
It'd be good for me.
Yeah.
I've been back on the diet. The existential dread weekend has been helpful for locking fully back in, but I've been back in the gym this week, which is, I always hate wanting to go to the gym, and then I get there and I enjoy it enough, and then I leave and I hate how much little time I have left after leaving to the next day. But also at the same time, is like when I don't go, I'm just in there like I kind of wish I would just go to the gym right now,
Yeah.
But I like picking up heavy stuff, so I guess there's that benefit.
Agreed.
Escape Pod podcast, box us right now.
Box us.
This is
all the money to charity.
To an official. Whoa.
I'm poor. I'm the charity.
Well, let's not.
I'm broke, bro. I'm the charity.
Well, I guess in fairness, they're going to be the A side on this contract. They do, unfortunately, they are way more popular than us. So
yeah, they are.
We would get a very minor split of.
We need to start engagement baiting.
Dude, I can't. I do not have the
Backrooms
patience.
was terrible. Worthless.
I have been telling myself for like the last 5 weeks, I should cut up clips into segments and upload them to the Final Take Live from this. Way too lazy to do all that. All right,
It's just
not even lazy, just so much time.
Yeah.
I will do it. I will start it at some point, but this would be a better one to do it on. But we have a problem of going way too tangential, so it'd be really hard to cut.
That's where good clips come from, is tangents,
but not when I'm uploading them almost as video, as highlights. You know, I can't upload it as Backrooms review,
and then
we talk about 007 First Light for
40
an
minutes.
hour.
Yeah.
And it's not even our dedicated 007 episode. That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, last thing. You remember 2 weeks ago? Or was it last week, maybe? I don't remember. I think it was 2 weeks ago. We said, whereas everyone else has been focusing on the extremes of the Odyssey casting, we said, hey, if you're going to get mad at that, you should also get mad at the fact that Matt Damon's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because... Why, Jake? Why was that again? Because
it's not Mediterranean. They're not Greek.
Yeah. Well, there's not even Greek people anymore, except for the Greek people who are who wrote an open letter to Hollywood about how ridiculous it is. And they're very nice. First, we wish you well. They do some talking in here. Homer's Odyssey belongs in many ways to the shared cultural imagination of humanity. A good interpretation. That's like, oh, brother, where art thou? Maybe. But we also consider something that is often overlooked in modern retelling of Greek stories. We did not vanish. Greek people did not disappear after the age of myth. Greek culture was not frozen in classical marvel. Greek language was not extinguished in antiquity. We're still here. At every stage, something essential remained unbroken. Language, memory, and cultural continuity. That continuity matters with stories like the Odysseys are retold. Odysseus is not only a universal symbol of endurance, struggle, and homecoming. He's also part of a cultural inheritance that has been carried through every one of these historical layers. Retold by Byzantine scholars, preserved in manuscripts, copied through the medieval world, studied during the Renaissance, and still taught, spoken, and reinterpreted in Greece today.
I mean, okay.
Basically, I'm not reading this whole thing. Basically, as a summary, everything we said 2 weeks ago is fully validated by Greek people here. It's a Greek story if you're telling it in the Greek form, as opposed to "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," which is a 1930s American interpretation of the story. You should cast it Greek, or at least try to, like 300,
at least like
where they at least
Greek
speak
appearing
with a Greek accent.
Not every single person
Odyssey
has to be
ancient
Greek, as long as they can pass. That's like
And the main people should be Greek.
Yes, the main people should be actually Greek, and most of the people need to pass as Greek.
I'll finish it. Through Mycenaean echoes, I don't know if that's like Mycenaean, I think that's right. Echoes through classical philosophy, through Hellenistic expansion, through Byzantine continuity, through Ottoman endurance, through modern nationhood, we remain. Always have been.
Hey, shit, Greek people are tough. Hold on.
Bro, I wonder if this is, Greek is probably, you know how like some of those languages, like Arabic is like a very, like, I don't, beautiful, it's not that, like, songish language, and like there's that described thing. Greek strikes me probably as a poetic type of of language.
Yeah. This is like,
basically, we were right.
So this is like, say someone, throw out a director, I don't know, Christopher Nolan is adapting an Egyptian story, right? You know, you have Anubis in there. You've got some. I don't know as much about Egyptian mythology. I know a teeny tiny bit. And then you cast.
You got Ra.
And then you cast your main guy, your lead, your protagonist for this story in Egyptian mythology, and you cast Ryan Gosling.
There was a movie that did that. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Gods of Egypt.
Yes.
It was all white blonde people.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
Cast Egyptian people or Egyptian.
And then there was that other one where
Cleopatra
was black. She should be Greek. ish, Greek slash Egyptian
Middle
adjacent, but
Eastern,
she's
no,
she's a
just-
descendant from a Macedonian.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then like even like Wonder Woman, I know that one's a little less 'cause it's not embedded in Greek culture, but like I don't know why she was. Gal Gadot at least kind of almost passes as Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
She's
Yeah,
at least
I wouldn't say.
from generally that hemisphere.
Yeah, I guess.
That's a win, I guess. I mean, she's a terrible
yeah,
actress.
It doesn't really matter, but
Kal-El, no.
enough champagne to fill the night.
To fill the Nile.
Dude.
Might be a bottom 5 mainstream actress of all time.
Hey, by the way, Golden Knights 1-0 lead in the Stanley Cup. I will accept slander that I am a bandwagon for the Golden Knights. I will not deny that. All right, I have a loose connection, and so I am a bandwagon as hell. Don't get me wrong. All right, Dodgers. I will not accept that slander. All right, I was cheering for him in 20. I was cheering for. That's from my grandpa. That is not. I'm not a bandwagon. I will not take Dodgers. I'm a bandwagon slander. All right, so
You just happened to stumble into the best team ever.
I just got lucky as hell. All right, but in fairness, I'm screwed over in the other sports. So
That's fair. That's fair. All your other sports.
like
are
Kentucky has been a disaster ever since. They were good when I was younger, and now that I'm older, it's been a disaster. So
fair. Yeah.
Dodgers, though, that's my nice reset every year. I get to watch my favorite team win the World Series, and then
All my teams are bad. The only thing I follow where I like people I like are good is MMA.
fair.
All my teams
And that's
are
not even
the
like
Colts
we're
are-
cheering
the Colts
for
are
them. That's
terrible.
like
The Cubs are terrible.
Hey, the Cubs aren't too bad. They have a hot streak so far this
They're-
year. It doesn't
they're, you
matter.
know-
We're still like 4 months away from October, but
Yeah, literally not a single one of these games matters, but I got a couple wins. It's great.
yeah, my favorite team to cheer for is
The Pacers. Ugh.
hey, they're gonna be back next year,
What-
right?
Bro, I keep seeing
Dude, a dude I work with is a Spurs fan, and I was talking to him today. I was like, good luck. I remember when my team was in the finals. I remember that. It was nice.
I keep getting Wimby edits, and it's bringing
Bruh,
me immense joy.
He's French, so I want to not like him, but
But he's tough, though.
he's too tough.
He's like the French chosen one.
He's like the French Mbappe of basketball.
Yeah, I guess.
He's like the French Mbappe, bro.
It's just shocking because he's just a likable French person.
Yeah, he's the French Mbappe. World Cup World Cup starts in a couple weeks. I get to like soccer like every 4 years, and it's not even
Yeah.
like I just hate soccer at all times. It's like I don't mind watching soccer. I just don't get into it until the World Cup. I don't know why, because I want to like it more.
Also,
But it's just
let
too-
it be known. I'm about to spit some soccer ball knowledge here. After this World Cup, Lamine Yamal will be a worldwide superstar. Let it be known.
Hold on. Whoa, that's
Anyone who
ridiculous. Here he
doesn't
is.
know Lamine Yamal now will know him.
Who's winning the World Cup?
I stumbled up. No.
thing.
Sure, hold on. Don't. I stumbled upon. This is information I know myself. I was not told to say this by an avid soccer watcher. This is ball that I know. Lamine Yamal will be world
Lamine Yamal
renowned,
finished second.
even more
Or
than
did
he is
win
already.
the Ballon d'Or.
I think he was second. I know that he was second.
He got second ranked best soccer player in the world or football player in the world, and you're like, he will be a superstar.
He will be a world renowned.
Should we do the thing that
superstar.
pisses European people off, which is when Americans with absolutely no footy knowledge give soccer takes?
Yeah, it's like Ted
Who's-
Lasso.
Who's
but
winning
I
the
know-
World
I
Cup?
know
Who's winning the
less.
World Cup?
I don't know, bro.
Pick a country that's gonna win the World Cup. I'll tell you if they're in or not. I'll tell you if they're even in the tournament. Maybe go with the team you just said the guy's gonna be
Barcelona.
a superstar for.
I'm going Barcelona here.
Barcelona's not a country, dumbass.
Well, the team. Well, okay.
That's not a country.
Spain.
Also, look, is Lamine Yamal on Barcelona or is he on Real?
I don't know.
Is he on Barcelona?
Dude, I don't know. I literally know nothing about soccer.
He is on Barcelona.
Football. I know nothing about soccer. I don't care about
America,
soccer.
baby, underdog story.
I just had to LARP a little bit. Engagement.
Give me who do I actually think will win? I've been feeling Spain for a while. I kind of feel like they slowed down a bit though. So Spain did just win the Euro, but that doesn't necessarily mean that. I mean, Italy won the Euro and then didn't qualify for the World Cup last World Cup cycle. So I keep up a bit with international soccer. I do not keep up.
I watched the Champions League final. Arsenal lost, and apparently that's awesome. So
well, Arsenal plays like a bunch of scumbag. Like they they play like they are the soccer. I'll put it in MMA terms for you. They are
are they like
Chimaev
the Thunder of soccer? Or
no, they are the Hamzat Chimaev versus Dracus Duplessis of soccer.
Okay. So I'm
lay
glad
and pray.
PSG
That's
won.
what because
I was hearing before the game though. Everyone I talked to was saying Arsenal was getting blown out like 4-0, and then it went down to a shootout.
I don't know why they would say Arsenal. From my understanding,
that
I
was
watch
very
a minute
biased
of Premier League
people.
this year.
That's the only soccer game I've watched since the last World Cup. So
I didn't watch a minute of Premier League this year. I watched the last penalty kick of the Champions League because it was on.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, is they play extremely scumbag soccer. And everyone was saying they were glad halal ball lost. It is very Thunder-esque as well, very unethical. It's unethical hoops, but in soccer.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't know. I think France will probably win. They just have like every good player ever. Maybe give me a Ronaldo, bro. I'll have Ronaldo answer the Messi win.
That would be tough.
The last soccer match I watched was probably when the U.S. got embarrassed in Copa America and didn't make it out of groups. Because when the U.S. is like decent, they were decent coming off the last World Cup. So I always really like the national soccer stuff. So I'll watch the Euro, I'll watch CONCACAF Nations League, I'll watch Copa America. Even though I love Formula One and the Premier League has the same appeal of like it's on in the morning and that's like a kind of on the weekend, it's kind of a nice thing. I've just never been like I should turn that on.
Yeah, soccer is not the most entertaining for me.
The only thing I do like about it is that it's like it's 90 minutes, but it's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
They start a stopwatch at 45 minutes. They take a 10-minute break. They play 45 more minutes and they're out. There's not 17 million. It's not an hour, but it's 3.5 like the NFL. You know?
Yeah.
I am just ready for college football, dude.
College football
need it injected into my veins. I'm ready. Bro, I'll listen to Josh Pate college football show in June. That's how
this year, but
I mean, they're national championship favorites right now. Their quarterback's a Heisman favorite.
Hey, we could do something this year.
I need him to be the Heisman favorite because Kentucky just got the guy who CJ Carr beat out for the job at Notre Dame. So if CJ Carr is really good, that means that Kenny Minchie is also really good. He just lost out to the better guy.
That's good, Cope. That's good, Cope.
Notre Dame makes me so mad because everything about them I hate and I want to hate, and then they're just like, yeah, what if we just had the nicest, coolest, most humble coach
just
ever?
Everyone
like,
is
bro,
super nice.
You. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but Marcus Freeman's just the nicest, greatest person ever, and it's like, okay, bro, screw you.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman's the guy.
I can't hate you because you got the best. You don't got like Ryan Day. If they had Ryan Day, I could just be like, yeah, Notre Dame sucks.
Let's go, yeah.
Yeah, but now it's like Marcus Freeman. I'm like, dude, and I'll be like, man, I hate Notre Dame. And then he starts talking like, you got it tough. Notre Dame's tough. Kentucky's going 7-5 this year. Let's go. Let's go.
I don't know, man.
The difference between a Notre Dame fan and a Kentucky fan.
You're like a lot of hypothetical wins for Notre Dame.
You're like 12-0 natty favorites right now. I'm like, we might make the Tax Slayer Bowl. We might barely lose the Tax Slayer Bowl. Let's go. That is the one thing I do like about cheering for a mediocre college football team is they can't ruin my weekend.
The stakes are low.
Whereas when the Colts are dominating the first 8 weeks and then they just go on a losing streak and then I don't want to watch NFL the rest of the year. Kentucky is like, kind of sucks we went 8-4, but we got a banger conference championship. Georgia and Bama are playing. This is going to be a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next week will be Spider Noir. Following week, 007. Week after, we'll figure it out. And then week after that, Supergirl. Can't wait. Gonna be a
Peak Fire Cinema
$1
incoming. It's a
billion
Triumph.
opening weekend. Supergirl soars, and the weekend before will probably be Supergirl early reactions like we did with Mando.
Yeah.
Because I bet there'll be some good ones.
Oh, there's gonna be some good material. I can't wait for the closer to it, the press. I'm very excited for that.
I am not excited, but
I'm not
excited.
I'm not excited as a superhero fan and a movie fan. I'm excited as a James Gunn hater. That's
Super Guns James girl.
Yeah. Yep. Working
Super
movie
Guns
title.
James Gunn. It's not even made by James Gunn. Why the hell does it look exactly like a James Gunn movie then?
Yeah.
Also, he has an edit out there that apparently did worse in the testings than the original one.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate your guy so much if y'all didn't go to my Creature Commandos video. Don't worry, bro. It's got a crazy fan base.
Don't worry,
300
bro.
live viewers.
All two of us remember it, bro. Me and my friend both remember it.
Yeah, and then I'm like, hey, why did they take a rabid child-eating weasel to human prison instead of, like, euthanizing it? And they're like, don't worry, bro, no one forgot. And I'm like, no, that wasn't really the concern anymore.
I'm not worried about that.
I'm more worried about the euthanizing of the giant...
just jailing the fish lady for no reason.
Yeah, in the world of gods and monsters that have been around for hundreds of years, they
years.
see fish lady and they're like, prison.
Not cool.
Not even like super... They're like, prison.
I'm like, what are you?
It's not like
test.
it's not
Not
exactly
like
the
let's run
Suicide
tests
Squad.
on this lady. Let's see what she is. Just
And it's not exactly like the Suicide Squad's worked out for Amanda Waller. This is take 3, and it also blows up in her face.
yeah.
Don't worry, though. John Economos was in Creature Commandos.
Pig.
Beard.
Glub Shadow.
Oh, my gosh.
It
was so Glub
Economos
Shadow.
will return in Superman.
It's so Glub
Man
Shadow,
of Tomorrow.
dude. John Economos will... Bro, the end of the game says James Bond will return. After you finish it, I was like, James Bond and Avengers Doomsday! Let's go!
James Bond, Second Light.
James Bond in Her Majesty's Secret Tutorial. James Bond tutorial another day.
Maybe there's a secret game that they haven't released yet that you only get after you finish the first game.
Conformity light.
And the first game was just a tutorial for the second game, which is actually
Cressida's
good.
hair changed.
She got a hey. Cressida wasn't paralyzed at the start, but
you're
she
probably
is.
based like
but
me.
she is paralyzed at the end. That's different.
You're probably based like me and chose the super badass movie poster. Guess what? When you return to the apartment, there's no badass movie poster. So, first off, I find that hilarious because that means the second Monroe died, Cressida was like, I'm outvoting you. We're hanging the ugly artwork. Yeah, I remember when I was watching James Bond, and I was like, I think he should be a third wheel in an apartment.
Yo.
That's what I think.
Yep.
James 007, the quick time event that loved me.
Yeah, the quick time.
I'm trying to think of what the sequel's going to be called.
Second Light, bro.
James Bond, no quick time event. No time to quick time.
Too quick to time.
That would be if it was Fast and Furious.
True. Hold on. What would it actually be?
What are other ones? It's hard. Honestly, it's
James
not a bunch
Bond
of
lived
easy
to quick
words.
another time.
It's not a bad one.
A good day
James
to quick
Bond
time.
safety rail. 007 safety rails. What's a safety rail one? I'm just thinking. James Bond Golden Adventure line.
James Bond off beyond the safety rail.
Blue tarp. 007 blue tarp. No clever title. Just you gotta follow the blue tarp.
Oh,
James Bond press square.
spam square hard.
License to kill sometimes.
License to quick time.
License to quit time.
Oh man, what a rough
James
game
Bond
so
license to quip.
Yeah. At least he's like kind
But
of
the
charming
Bond
sometimes.
episode, that's in so, that's cool.
It's cool.
By the way, I didn't even realize I uninstalled the game the second after finishing. And it wasn't even like I hate this game. I was kind of just I was downloading MLB The Show, and I was like,
it again.
well, I was like, I'm not in the mood to play these tax sims, so I'll just delete it. And if I ever want to play it again, I can just re-download. It's not like Hitman where I can randomly just get the urge to play it.
Yeah.
If I get the urge to play James Bond, it's probably because I have the urge to play Hitman. So I'll just play Hitman.
I mean, every time I've been about to sit down to play James Bond since the first time, because then I was actually excited. Since then, it's been or I could just play Hitman. It's no, I need to finish the story.
There's two things. I think I'm about to boot up a Hitman replay through. Second thing, randomly got the urge today. Might rewatch the Good Community episodes.
I rewatched the Good Community episodes a couple weeks ago, and it was pretty great.
Might go down that route. I was thinking about the Chicken Finger Mafia episode, one of the best ones in all of Community.
Banger episode.
Everyone glazes the paintball episodes, and they're good. Chicken Finger Mafia, best one. Bite me.
Chicken Finger Mafia is pretty fire.
It is the best. It is one of... I love the parody stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Put your earbud in.
Oh. Is it echoing again?
Yes.
Earbuds are so loud.
All right. We're just yapping in circles. Spider-War next week. 007 First Light. The following week, random yap sesh. Supergirl. Sometime around there. I don't remember when it comes out. Odyssey will be around there. I know we're going to have a Wednesday off because I'll be out of town heading to Vegas for Call of Duty Champs. Nerd. Yes. No shit.
Yep. Obviously.
Duh.
That's kind of the
loser.
thing.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm aware.
Chud.
Bingo. This guy right here. Ding-a-ling.
Caught me.
Ding-a-ling. That is true. I guess we probably shouldn't have talked about the Backrooms until we got the Chud critical drinker announcement. Because
true.
I think if you have a nuanced opinion on anything, instead of just saying it's the best thing since the last thing, that means you just are a critical drinker Chud.
I mean, yeah, we talked about this, and I haven't listened to or watched any other critic breakdowns or talk about the movie. So I actually formed my own opinion,
dude,
which is probably
that's low-key my least favorite part about
Probably
making reviews and stuff now. With Mando and Grogu, because I haven't made my video yet, I have refrained from watching or listening to anyone else talking about the movie, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But I try to do that best I can to avoid stealing too much stuff, accidentally stealing stuff that aren't my own thoughts on stuff.
Yeah.
What was my thoughts on the movie? I think my video is going to be really good. I got some fun ideas. Very depressing, but very good. But if I didn't think that, I wouldn't make a video. So that'll be out within the next week, before next week. I know there'll be a date in July. I don't remember the exact time. Around the weekend of the 18th, the Wednesday before that, we will not have a show. But that's not till July. So we got the rest of June basically planned out. So we're looking forward to that. If you want to be up with the discussion, make sure to watch Spider Noir, because we will be spoiling the hell out of it.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage is the Spider. So that'll be next week. Like I said, I know this is the fifth time I've said this, 007, the following week.
Yep.
And Jake, you working on anything, Jake?
I don't know. I'm figuring out.
You don't have school.
I think I have work. I work a lot.
Yeah, and I don't have work.
Yes, I know. Figuring it out. Might talk about
Neither does Cord.
I might talk about Spider-Man Noir on my own as well. Uncertain. I think it'll depend how I feel about it. And if there's really anything to talk about with it. So, yeah.
All right. I am working on my Mando video. It'll be out. It's more of a Star Wars general video, but it'll be out sometime within the next week. After that, I really don't know what I'm going to make next. Spider Noir, perhaps. 007, maybe. I don't know. we'll see. I'll say maybe a Backrooms video. I still might make a Project Hail Mary video because I really wish I had just done that when it came out and capitalized on how universally loved it was, but I was too busy being pissed at how awful Daredevil was, which no one cared about.
Yeah.
Which is fine, and I wanted to talk about Daredevil, but at the same time, it's like I kind of missed an opportunity to talk about something I did enjoy that everyone was talking about how much they enjoyed it. So
yeah.
But I still might make the video because it's still a good movie. So might do that. Don't know. We'll play it by ear. But stay tuned. You can subscribe, turn on notifications, all that, like whatever. Spotify down below. I actually got last week's episode out the next day on Spotify. I know, crazy stuff. We're moving up. I know. It should be a similar situation today as well. So or this week.
Chill out, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I mean, I gotta be at my computer to edit tomorrow. So, yeah, we will be back. So you can check us down below. Jake's links down below. The Y-Files video on the Backrooms down below. Check that out. It's a very interesting look at the Backrooms, honestly, before this movie was coming out, as well as liminal spaces and liminality in general, which is a very interesting concept, in my opinion, obviously. Kane Parsons / Kane Pixel. You can check him out. Kind of funny that we actually have a YouTube channel to shout out for a director of a movie we liked. Which is starting to become a new norm. But yeah, check all that out. And Jake's camera is dying, so we will see you guys.
I'll have to sort
next
that
week.
out for next week.
We will see you guys next week. Adios.
Adios. Bye bye.